All right, boys, we're getting closer and closer to playoff action. We're only 4 weeks away, maybe less than that. So it's time to be bold. It's time to get ballsy, get gutsy, and we're going to make some bold predictions for what's going to happen for the rest of this season and maybe even some for the offseason. We don't know, right? So this is the time where we're going to put our ball knowledge and gut feelings and gut instincts on the line.
Gonna put our balls to the walls.
Hey, yo.
That's crazy.
That is wild. Yeah. But we're back. It's episode 49. Tyler, Anthony, Gio back in the stew. It's the Floor Spacer podcast, lads. How we doing today?
Great,
We're doing good. We're gonna film this in 2 parts though. 'Cause it's late.
It is quite late. It's about 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
So and these guys got work early in the morning. So
we're gonna do 2 parts.
Yeah. So basically, in these clothings, you'll see the first our usual 45 to an hour of the news segments and everything that's gone on in the league, and then you'll see a transition to the next day where we will do our 15 bold predictions for the 2025 NBA season. If you guys do enjoy today's video, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, get us to 5K, hit the bell, follow us on all our socials down below. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, answer the polls, all that good stuff. And then, guys, do we have any sort of other things to say before we kind of dive right in? It's kind of a quick intro as per usual.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Into the first segment, we got a bit of some funny breaking news because, the Mavs season keeps spiraling out of control and it just got worse. So not only did they lose Dante Exum for the rest of the season with a broken hand, but there was a tweet that came from Bobby Marks that we're going to put on the screen that says the Mavs are at risk of forfeiting games due to injuries and NBA salary cap rules.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
Forfeiting games.
Forfeiting games.
Holy.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah, they have a whole roster of injured players.
How likely is that to actually happen, though?
I'd say pretty likely.
It depends how many
What
more
is
guys.
pretty likely? I mean, 60% chance.
More than half.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's the basketball god Karma. That's all I can tell you.
Pretty sure that's the Indian Hindi god. Not
Yeah.
a basketball god, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday they played P.J. Washington, Najee Marshall, Kessler Edwards, Klay Thompson, Brandon Williams. You probably don't know who that is. Dwight Powell, who's always injured, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Max Christie. That's 8 players.
And I think Kessler Edwards went to the locker room midway through the game.
They don't have any G League players?
Yeah. Dwight Powell only played. P.J. Washington came back from injury, though. He was out.
He's been back for a few games.
yeah.
Hey, he's not playing.
Yeah, they're missing
Yeah.
Gafford, Lively, Caleb Martin, Kyrie,
Holy.
Anthony
So
Davis.
who is playing? Tell me who's playing.
He literally
I just said the full 8 guys.
Just
Yeah.
said
Oh,
8
I thought
guys.
those were the guys.
No,
that are
those
not
are the full
playing.
8 guys. Yeah, the guys that are out are Caleb Martin again, Gafford, Lively, Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis. That's it, right? Oh, Olivia Muxon's Prosper.
Yep.
And that's it.
Who
That's
the hell
9
is that?
players.
That's
They're
crazy.
rookies.
It's nasty work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They can just call some G League players, giving them an opportunity. Why
they,
forfeit games?
they can't. Salary cap rules. Those G League players are not under NBA contracts. Just because you're playing for that team doesn't mean you can play for them.
Why?
Well, because it's the G League. So if you're on the Mavs G League team, and let's say the Sixers have a 2-way spot open, they can give that player a 2-way contract, and he goes right to Philly.
Right?
So the Mavs don't have 2-way spots available. So they're screwed. So if they don't have enough players to field a team, they have to forfeit games.
Well, what if they allowed to are G League players allowed to play in the NBA without a contract?
No, you have to have a 2-way.
You have to have a contract.
Have to have a 2-way.
Yeah.
Dang. Because
So-
what if they could just showcase their talents, see what they got before they sign a contract? No.
That's I don't
not how it works.
I don't make the rules, so
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
that's out of my control. But yeah, I thought it was just it was too hilariously awful not to include in today's episode because we are avid Nico Harrison haters, and this just feeds right into the agenda because this man literally destroyed the entire Dallas Mavericks franchise with one singular phone call. It's actually diabolical work.
Within a few months. Not even. Month.
Yeah, one little coffee shop conversation.
Pretty much a day, destroyed it in a day.
Yeah, that's literally.
Got rid of 2 first-round picks along with Luka and
That's
freaking
insane.
Quentin
How do you
Grimes.
do that?
Yeah,
And Quentin Grimes is freaking hooping.
He's phenomenal. I want him back on the Knicks.
That's
but
not happening,
It's not
so-
happening.
Not a chance in hell. But let's get into the first segment. And this is something that's kind of been brewing for kind of a short while now, especially this season, where, we've talked about it numerous times. The NBA media, for lack of better terms, sucks. And a lot of the former players that are on national television and are on YouTube and have these platforms don't talk about the game the way it should be. And what we're seeing is just a whole lot of blasphemy from a lot of these guys. You know, where should I start? Let's start with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was talking about the Detroit Pistons on his podcast with Lefko, and he said, "Oh, I don't care what Detroit's doing. Like, does like whoopee do?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're like 6 games below 500. Like, yeah, I don't care. You know, if you're not winning championships, then you don't deserve to be talked about." He was corrected, thankfully, that they're 10 games over 500. The Pistons are playing some of the best basketball we've seen in the past few months, and basically just got cooked right in front of his face. And then on Inside the NBA, when he decided to give Detroit Pistons credit, he said Chauncey Billups is doing a great job coaching those guys.
What?
Yeah, he just doesn't watch the NBA.
He literally said he doesn't watch.
Wow.
He does not watch the Detroit Pistons.
How does he still have a job?
Because he's Shaq.
Yeah.
Like I said, no one cares about analytics anymore. No one cares about analysis. They want entertainment and the big name faces and the big.
The fact that he doesn't know who's coaching and that's insane.
That's pretty bad.
So that's basically saying that anybody that played NBA can talk NBA without knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the fact it's so easy. Like you should know all 30 coaches in the league. Like JB Bickerstaff could win Coach of the Year. He's probably not going to, but he's a Coach of the Year candidate. He's like a top 4 guy for that award.
And they announced that on Inside the NBA, don't they? All the awards.
Yeah.
So Shaq's gonna be announcing. I know JB Bickerstaff was a Detroit, very good.
Do you imagine they interview him? He has the one-on-one convo.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That's actually
diabolical.
insane.
Yeah, I mean, but like, come on, this is the same Shaq that told Jokic to his face during the MVP interview, saying that he thought he shouldn't have won. So
Wait, how did he say it again?
he said, congratulations, but SGA deserved this award.
Oh my goodness.
You see, like that's awful. I'm
That's
sorry.
bad.
Read
like-
the room, like
Yeah, like I'm sure like the producers in his ear were like just wanting to just scream at him, but they can't because like it's Shaq.
but they don't.
It's
but,
tough.
Like, are they honestly pissed? Like, it got them a lot of clicks. It went viral.
I'm sure the producers in their ear like want to rip out their ears sometimes and just like
Probably.
you know,
but-
yell,
clicks.
but they can't because it's Shaq. It's like they're legends. Like without them, the producers are kind of just nothing.
Problem is, the people on the TV screens make a whole lot more money than the people behind the scenes. And that's just a sad reality of the fact. But yeah, that's the whole Shaq thing. Do we have any sort of final thoughts on that?
No, it's just insanity.
Yeah, all right. Well, I hate to inform y'all, but it does get worse. We know Lou Williams, right?
Yes.
One of the greatest sixth men the game has seen in this generation, right? He was a serial winner of Sixth Man of the Year. I forgot what show he's on or what podcast, but he had some things to say about.
He's on Run It Back with Chandler Parsons on
That's
FanDuel
what it
TV.
was. Yeah.
Yes.
So he was on that show the other day. I'm just pulling up the tweet now.
He's on it every day. He's a co-host.
Well, you know what I'm saying. He was on the show.
Yeah.
He had the audacity to say that Giannis Antetokounmpo has not added any pieces to his game like Shea and Jokic have. And he specifically pointed out the mid-range. The mid-range specifically. He said if Giannis can improve from the mid-range, you know, he could be in the MVP conversation. He would be so much better. Giannis is having the most historical mid-range shooting season of his career.
Wow.
And of NBA, like he's shooting so efficient from inside like 12 feet, it's ridiculous. And the fact that he doesn't watch games. You wouldn't know that unless you watched. Like Giannis the other day hit like a step back 1 foot fade, and it was ridiculous. He wouldn't hit that shot like 2 years ago. He probably wouldn't have even hit it
Or
last
you
year.
just look up online or ask your researcher, hey, what's Giannis's mid-range percentage this year? What is like? It's not that hard.
Right.
Like that's the issue that we come with the NBA guys that. Well, I mean, I guess the one guy that we know actually does his research is a coach on the NBA, and that's JJ Redick. We know he does his research and watches the game and
Watches.
became a coach because of it.
It's because he loves the sport.
And Chauncey Billups, I'm sure the same thing.
That's what they need more of.
But yeah, run it back.
Here, listen,
Go ahead.
a lot of these NBA players that are now like commentators and like hosts of different podcasts or whatever, I don't necessarily know if they truly love the sport of basketball. You know,
yeah.
I kind of have
That's the issue.
I kind of have the same thing for Chandler Parsons, who was a failed NBA player after like 4 or 5 years and is now like the prime guy on that show. he says a lot of really like interesting things on that show.
Yeah.
But good basketball player. Nothing against him, of course. I love watching him play. He probably doesn't know a lot about the game, but just interesting. Right. Very much just what these guys are all saying. Even on like the podcast Gills Arena, Podcast P, Draymond show, of course, with the name him. We know.
Yeah. So. Look, no question, these guys are outstanding at playing the game of basketball. Yeah. And they must know a lot about the sport itself, but sometimes I question how much joy they have in the sport itself, because it turns into a job for them. So a lot of the times the love for the sport is lost because now it's their means of supporting the family. So it's a job. Yeah. And that's what I think is missing. I think the NBA needs to return people who simply love the sport, whether they played in the NBA or not.
Right.
They need to have people who love the sport of basketball back hosting, different TV shows, different podcasts or whatever it is to, bring back the sport of basketball. When people are watching someone that loves the sport of basketball, they can see the passion. Yeah. And that gives off into the viewers, you know what I'm saying? And people end up liking the sport just because someone else likes the sport. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And ESPN took a huge hit losing JJ Redick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been terrible. It's been hard to watch First Take, an NBA countdown, and Get Up. It's tough because you lost probably the best analytical analyst on the network or even just in the industry. We've gone from JJ Redick pulling up stats from Second Spectrum to Shannon Sharp saying OKC, PSG, UFC, Lakers in 5 or KFC, whatever the fuck he said.
Oh my God, yes.
Like he even said, he said today it was like he said Thunder, Mint Mobile bundle, something like that.
So
Lakers in 5, and it's ridiculous. And this this segues into my third point, where I have an accusation towards ESPN. And it's a crazy accusation, but low key, it's kind of true. And this kind of ties into the anti-Jokic agenda, because it's clear they hate Jokic. They don't want him to win for obviously the reasons that we stated previously. They are completely taking advantage of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Purely just so Jokic doesn't win an MVP. Because when they talked about the OKC Thunder today as far as winning a championship, Shannon Sharp did not even acknowledge OKC as a threat. And this team is on pace to win 71 games of basketball.
Okay. You see my issue with Shannon Sharp talking basketball? He didn't play the sport. That is the number one reason why ESPN is taking it, because they're having guys that have not played the sport.
Well, you don't need to play the sport. Stephen A. didn't play the sport.
That's another problem.
But Stephen A., everyone loves Stephen A.
Not everyone.
Most people do.
Yeah, he's talked about it, but he hasn't played. Shannon Sharp is the number one reason why you should not be talking about basketball. He played football. Leave the football talk to Shannon Sharp.
Look, if you're passionate about basketball and you love the sport, I don't see why you can't talk about it.
Look, I'll tell you this.
I understand that.
Shannon Sharp talks way better ball than Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
It's not
Kendrick
even close.
played.
And that's the thing. Even when Kendrick Perkins was talking about, OKC, the most intriguing finals matchup for him involved the Celtics and I think it was the Lakers. And he said you got Jason, and him and Stephen A. were talking about big market. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't play in a big market. And at the end of the day, they don't care who wins league MVP. All they care about is a good championship that boosts up ratings and a favorable climate so Stephen A. can relax in June in either Miami or Los Angeles or any of those places.
And do First Take from there.
Why he was pissed when he had to go to Denver in 2023. Yeah. He was pissed when he had to go to Boston last year because it's cold. It's
he wants warmth.
He wants warm. That's why Miami was ideal for him. He wanted the Lakers to beat the Nuggets.
The only place where it's doable for him is New York because the Knicks are in it.
Right, so he could be a fake Knicks fan like Antoine.
Nah, I'm not a fake Knicks fan.
Okay, you keep telling yourself
I
that.
was born and raised.
But it's crazy though. These guys don't watch basketball. You have one job. It's so freaking simple. And I don't understand.
I think the one counterpoint to them not being able to watch basketball is that they're always on the job, whether it's watching a basketball game or other things. So they might not have time to watch back everything. So when they get on the show the next morning, everything might be freshly new in their mind because it's so busy. Like Woj, for example, he had to quit doing inside job because it was so stressful for him. And, I'm sure it's the same thing for these guys. and they don't catch up on everything right away at first glance. So I kind of give that into account for them, but they should at least have their people update them on this.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they have a team for, or other guys to help them with this. So, it goes a lot of ways. I guess that's what I get from that.
I just want to bring up one take that I have about the NBA media currently. What I think they're trying to do is they're trying so hard. They're trying their best to save the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when you try that hard, you end up failing. But I think you have to do it naturally. It can't be something that the media tries to strong arm and save the sport.
Right.
You can't do that if you're the media. You have to naturally let it go through its ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on is, this is just my opinion right now. I think the NBA, there's multiple reasons why it might be at a low point right now. But I think one of the reasons is the best player in the world is Nikola Jokic. One, he's not American, right?
Right.
Two, he's also not the most fun player to watch. Three, he's not super athletic, right? And that makes him not the most fun player to watch. And so what I think, that's part of the reason why the media is maybe not wanting him to be the MVP or the face of the league, is because he's not the most exciting player to watch. Other players like SGA, Anthony Edwards, John Morant, these guys are super fun to watch. Maybe that's why they're promoting these players above a Nikola Jokic. And that's not good for the sport. Right. I can admit these guys are more fun to watch than Jokic is, but Jokic is getting the job done, and you should ride on the coattails of the guy who's getting the job done, no matter if he's fun to watch, no matter if he's from another country, it doesn't matter. You support the best players in your league and stop trying to strong arm the NBA and try to save the NBA. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I totally agree. And to kind of piggyback off that, the same should apply for small market teams that are good. Like, why do we have to include the Lakers and the Celtics when we're talking about the Cavs and the Thunder? They're two small market teams. They're two of the most historic teams we're going to wind up seeing in our generation, in our lifetime in the NBA. They both could still win 70 games. And all they want to do is push the big market narrative of Lakers to the finals, Warriors to the finals, Celtics to the finals, LeBron this, LeBron that, Steph Curry this, Steph Curry that. Fuck all those small market teams. That's basically what they're trying to tell us. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'll list off all these stats about the 50-point games and the 40-point games. But LeBron and the Lakers with Luka Doncic, they're going to the finals. Like, that's crazy to me. The way they talk about SGA, it's almost like he's the GOAT.
Right.
But it's almost like then his team won't do anything prosperous. And that's something I can't get past.
Listen, I think the only way to save First Take in ESPN is you got to bring back Max Kellerman. And also, I
want Max Kellerman.
If anybody was like looking at my face, I made like a really like disgusted face, but Tracy Morgan puked on the sideline on the court at MSG.
Really?
And had to get wheeled out of a wheelchair because he was bleeding from his nose as well.
Oh, damn.
Tracy Morgan had to get vomited on the court. There's a picture.
That's wild.
Oh, hell no.
He vomited on the court and his nose was bleeding and they wheeled him out in a wheelchair.
What's going on with him? Is he okay?
Probably drank too much.
That just happened just now?
Just now.
Yeah.
Holy.
Prayers up.
Yeah, Tracy
that's
Morgan.
not good.
He's never like that on the court, which is weird.
Bloody nose and puking? He must be sick. Pretty bad.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
We love Tracy.
But anyways, back to the task at hand. That's kind of the gist of everything, right?
Yeah.
Regarding the NBA media and stuff like that.
I would love for Max to come back.
He's not coming back.
He would be phenomenal. I love Max.
I like Max too.
I do too, but
Max made the show really good.
He doesn't want to.
He does some crazy things.
No, he's done.
He doesn't want to associate with Stephen A.
Yeah, he's done. He's ESPN at everything.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think he has. I think he has some show somewhere, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I honestly have no idea. He's made gobs of money in his career.
Yeah.
But do we have any final thoughts on this before we get into the next segment?
Let's go.
Welcome back to Tyler's Player Spotlight, where we talk about someone that's been quietly cooking or burning the kitchen down. Obviously, you all know how this works. If you guys are new around here, though, I talk about a player, and these guys have to try and guess what it is. So Antoine's very confident he knows who the player is. So basically, each of you just chuck me a guess on who you think it is, and that will be that. Let's not waste any time on this.
I'm going to go with Quentin Grimes.
Is that it?
It is not Quentin Grimes.
Is it someone that's doing good?
Well, you have no more. You have no more
God,
questions.
who
It's to
invented
you.
this game?
Is it someone that's doing good?
It is.
Is it Anthony Edwards?
It is not.
That was a really good guess.
So-
that was my second guess.
We're going to be talking about a guy that Gio thinks very, very, very highly of. Someone that's been very quietly cooking over the past couple of weeks and is really starting to find his footing after a very rough last season. We're going to the Windy City, and we're going to talk about Josh Giddey.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so Josh Giddey, Josh Diddy, however you want to call him. Let's call a spade a spade. He's been hooping. In his last 9 games, he's averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists,
Wow.
2 stocks on 52% from the field and 52.5% from 3. He's on shooting splits of 50, 50, 80. 85 technically. He's shooting 87% from the line.
Impressive.
He's 6th in the league in total plus minus at plus 9.9
Overall or just
Overall.
the last 9 games?
last 9 games.
Okay.
In total, overall, sorry. Overall.
That's good.
It is very good.
Very impressive, Josh.
Since All-Star break, I think he's averaging like 25, 11 rebounds and 9 assists. I mean, he's been on a rampage throughout the past couple of weeks. There's 3 players in the NBA this season that have scored 400-plus points and have 400-plus assists. It's LeBron James, it's Nikola Jokic, and it's Josh Giddey. Like, that's insane.
That actually is crazy company to be in.
That's nasty work.
That's crazy.
It's
It's so
actually-
like underrated, I feel like.
It's
Man
just
gets the job done.
He's going to get paid. It should have been so fun if he worked out on OKC like his first year and didn't get into that trouble because he's probably the
Yeah.
perfect piece they need on that team.
I wouldn't.
I think it's
say
better
that.
without him, to be
It's-
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's a nice piece to have. Better than Caruso. He's been doing a lot better than Caruso.
not
But
really.
it's a
'cause
different role.
Caruso fits. Caruso filled the need that they had. Like they needed POA. They needed POA defense. Josh Giddey's not a good defender. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
We know that.
And the thing is, it's like SGA is your primary ball handler. Josh Giddey needs to be on ball.
Very true.
So trading him allowed Caruso to not only come off the bench and give you that Bruce Brown role of being a 3-and-D, perimeter guy. This now allows spacing, right? You can start Lou Dort. You can start Isaiah Joe. You could start Aaron Wiggins, the savior of basketball.
Right.
Like this man, like basketball was an endangered species until Aaron Wiggins came to the
insane
NBA.
takes.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy take.
So, but I mean, as far as Chicago, there's really not much to talk about them. They're going to blow it up.
Right.
They're not. I mean, they're
What's
already.
their record over the last 9?
I think
They are
It's a good question.
5-4.
Okay.
Really? Okay, so
So
it's
They're on a
not
3-game
terrible.
winning streak.
I need them to keep winning so we can get our lottery odds better, which they are. We're in the top 5 now.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're on the hunt for Coop.
Look, if Josh keeps playing like this, they might keep on winning.
They probably
So-
will.
Well, listen, I mean, everyone but Josh Giddey and Kobe White's probably going to be traded.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe White's playing out of his freaking mind.
They both are playing great.
Yeah, that's the backcourt.
What about Lonzo?
He's been okay.
Lonzo just signed an extension a couple weeks ago. I think he's got like an ankle injury or something.
Okay.
He's missed some time, but Lonzo's been playing fine.
He's been okay,
Right.
yeah.
There's not really much that he needs to do.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
team with no
Wait,
expectations.
I saw. I'm sorry. It's a little off topic. I saw a video of LeVar Ball,
Yeah.
and he has no foot.
Yes, he got his foot
Yeah,
in.
he got
He
his
got
foot
his
in.
foot in.
What happened?
They just said it was a health. they said
Really
it was a
bad health
issue.
problem.
Yeah.
They didn't say what it was.
That's actually sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
He's in great spirits though.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw him. He looked
So,
happy.
yeah, as long as he's happy, that's all that matters.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, and look, I mean, I have some other metrics here. Since March 2nd, the Chicago Bulls are the 3rd ranked team in pace, which is actually
Wow.
insane considering Josh Giddey kind of plays at a slower pace.
Does he though?
Yeah, I don't think he moves at like that kind of fast pace like a lot of like
Well,
Kobe
he-
White plays fast.
All right. So fast pace and fast players, two completely different things. You can be a fast player but play at a slow pace. A slow pace.
Yeah.
Right. Or you can be a very slow player and play at a fast pace.
Right.
I think that's him.
I
I
think
think,
Co-
he's a fast pace,
think-
but he's slow.
I think Kobe White kind of amplifies that more.
He probably does.
Because Kobe White, fast player,
He is.
fast
And-
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pace.
fast place. But it's just so tough with this Bulls team because it's just like I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
Because like Josh Giddey's playing good, but like the Bulls suck,
Yeah.
and it's just like there's no expectations. When there were expectations last year, he crumbled up like a biscuit.
Right.
So it's just I don't know how to feel about it. But like I said, got to give bro credit. He's playing really good basketball as of late.
Yeah.
And maybe the Bulls can build something with him and Kobe White backcourt. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, they could. I mean, Buzelis as well looks pretty decent. Io DeSumo is still there.
He's a good player.
They could move up a lot of guys in offseason and get some good, I guess, young talent picks, and then they could be kind of in a rebuild without having a really good starting five. They got rid of Levine and DeMar. We know that.
So is Giddey? Well, first of all, the reason why Giddey's playing good is because Levine's not there anymore, and he has the ball in his hands a whole lot more. That's number one. So now we get to see what he can do when he has the ball, and good things are happening.
We're also playing Kobe White off ball, which does help because he was running point a lot. But Josh Giddey can also play a little bit off ball. He's kind of a combo guard.
So they're both kind of combo guards.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think the future of this backcourt's heavily predicated on the lottery. Because if you get the third pick in the draft and Ron Harper Jr. is available, or Dylan Harper, sorry, whatever the fuck. If Dylan Harper is available, then it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah. You definitely go with Dylan Harper for sure.
Exactly, yeah. Dylan Harper's the clear better point guard. And if we're trying to go at the lottery based on narratives, right? Get Cooper Flagg to Brooklyn, right? Whoever wants to get, whatever at 2, and then you get Ron Harper's son on the Bulls. Like, it makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, you'd probably shop Josh Giddey. Oh, I mean, he's a free agent, so you could sign and trade is what I meant.
He's an RFA.
Sign and trade for sure. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the situation
Yeah, but
surrounding
they're winning
him.
games, so are they going to even get Dylan?
Like I said, the Hawks lost the play-in and somehow managed to get Reese Shea. The Pelicans finished with the worst lottery odds in 2019, still managed to get Zion. So
True.
It's possible. The Nets finished, I think, like 11th in the East last year, and we gave the Rockets the 3rd pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So it's just how it plays out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the story with Josh Giddey. Do we have any final thoughts regarding Bro before we get into the team spotlights?
Let's go to the teams.
It's time to talk about some teams, specifically some teams that are playing well. It's been a while since we've talked about 2 of these teams, and we're finally starting to see some of their early season struggles, get better. Things are starting to look up for both these teams. So who do you want to start off with? Memphis, Minnesota?
Do Memphis.
All right. So let's start off with the Memphis Grizzlies. So Memphis, obviously, to the start of the season, they were playing good basketball. They've kind of been in that 2-3 seed range kind of throughout the season. And then they started to fall off just a lot of games. They went on like an 8-game losing streak or something similar to that. And Ja Morant just was not able to get anything going throughout this season so far, was dealing with some shoulder problems, everything like that. And, since the month turned to March, the Grizzlies have turned into Jalen Green. They have been cooking in this month. And, in their last, my English is failing me right now. Since March 7th, the Grizzlies are 10th in offensive rating. They're 9th in defensive rating. So when you're a top 7 team in net rating, things are starting to trend in the upward direction. Ja Morant specifically in his last 5 games is averaging 32 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steals on 56% from the field. This is what we've been waiting for with Ja Morant. I've been begging to see this. So I'll open the floor to y'all. Antoine, I know you've been really high on the Grizzlies all season.
Of course.
Give us your pure, unadulterated thoughts.
Listen, Ja's great right now, of course. I've been seeing the box scores every night. Triple J is not back yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He came back.
Oh, he came back?
Yep.
Desmond Bane's been putting up almost triple doubles every night, which is like really good for him.
Westbrook effect.
I didn't know he would.
What did Bane have to do with Westbrook?
He's having like I think let me just double check. In the last 4 games, he's
averaging a triple double.
No, almost. He has 2 games with almost 10, 8 and 9. He's rebounding the ball. He had a triple-double early in March with 35, 10, and 10, just for an example. And, they're rookies. Like we talked about Jalen Wells, Zach Edey, FDU legend.
What? FDU legend's crazy. We sent that man packing.
Yeah, Zach Edey, FDU legend. Scottie Pippen, Jr., your guy, backup point guard.
Why is that my guy?
He just loves to.
You love him, bro.
What?
When has Gio mentioned Scottie
They've been
Pippen
doing
Jr.?
good. It's unfortunate. I would love to see more Gigi Jackson, but he's been kind of on the bench a little bit.
Bro, he's been cooking in the G League.
Really?
Oh, in the G League, okay.
He's been averaging like 36 points. He's been on a tear.
Well, so is Bronny James.
He has.
I don't know why they have been doing my man Gigi dirty after last year. I guess just because Jalen Wells is doing good.
I mean, bro got hurt.
Yeah, but I would expect him to get more playing time because he was so phenomenal last year.
He was.
But what have you done for me lately?
Gigi?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, he was great last season, but like this season, he hasn't really proved much.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
We were expecting a big, not a super big leap.
Well,
but
the injury.
So I feel like an idiot. He's not averaging 36 points. He played a game with 36 minutes.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna redact everything I just said about that.
But yeah, I guess Taylor Jenkins, kind of for now has saved his job. We'll see come postseason or playoffs, not postseason. And of course, with the jaw trade rumors, as of right now, there's nothing on it according to Zach Kleiman. And they have a nice team. They have a nice bench. Their rookies, of course, are the storyline of their season. They're going to get all rookie team for sure, both of them. And let's see if it continues. Triple J's on a DPOY candidacy right now because of Wemby.
He's not getting it.
He could.
You get into my bold predictions. I have my DPOY pick potentially in my bold predictions. It could be Triple J. It could not be Triple J. We'll see.
It's most likely, knowing him, he leaks everything, so it's probably Triple J. Yeah.
Okay, maybe it could be Triple J.
This is insane.
It could be.
And you just stop it leaking.
It could be.
Why is
But
he leaking
anyway, listen, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of this team, and that's all I have to say. I don't think I can say more. We'll see playoff time what happens.
Yeah, we
Gio,
will.
what do you think?
And talking about playoffs, I don't think this team is legit.
Ooh.
I think we're going to see this team fold again, bro.
All right, Memphis Grizzlies, congratulations. You're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
Cavs versus Grizzlies. I'm just going to quit everything about basketball if that happens. I'm not going to come back on this podcast. You have my word, okay? Now listen.
That's great.
I really want John Morant because we all know what John Morant can do. We've seen him in year 1 and year 2. I think it was mostly year 2 where he was in the playoffs and he was putting up like 36 points every single game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's popping off. So we know what he can do when the games matter most. But I still I don't know what it is. I think it just might be just the name Grizzlies. They got to show me they could win.
They're the most menacing name in the NBA. A grizzly? Like if
yeah.
there's a grizzly bear in front of you, you're fucked. Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but like a blue grizzly bear, it's like more like a teddy bear.
Okay.
Like if you put like an actual brown grizzly bear as your logo, that I might be intimidated. But if it's a blue little teddy bear roaring at you, it's like, you know what I mean?
Roaring is crazy.
On a serious note, though, I just don't really see them as legitimate contenders. And we even went over that in the last episode. Where did we put them? Like
you guys you wanted to put them in B and C tier. I called them an A tier team.
Yeah.
I believe in the Memphis Grizzlies.
I don't think they're A tier.
They're definitely B.
Yeah.
The problem is it's just like every team this year is flawed so massively that it's not like, unless like OKC is the least flawed team in the Western Conference by a far margin. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to play. If you get the 2 or 3 seed, you're not meeting them until the conference finals. So right now, presumably, if Minnesota and Golden State keep playing the way they are, you're not going to wind up facing them in the first round. You're probably going to face you might have to play one of them, but let's say you get the 3 seed, I think they could beat either Minnesota or
You think so?
They could.
I think that Minnesota actually has a better chance of beating the Grizzlies. And I also think the Warriors have a better chance of beating the Grizzlies right now. I really think that.
It's hard to say right now. I think right now Memphis has the size. And if you have a healthy Jaren Jackson, the way he's playing, they're going to be a tough out.
You're right, because Rudy Gobert is no match for Jaren Jackson. You're right about that.
Ooh.
Rudy Gobert won't be guarding Jaren Jackson.
We'll get into
because he can't guard anyone.
No, he'll be guarding Zach Edey.
We're gonna get into Rudy when we get to the Timberwolves because something happened with Rudy tonight that was really bad.
Oh, did it? Okay, I don't know about this.
Because Rudy sucks.
Okay.
He almost injured someone really bad.
Oh yeah, he always does that.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about Rudy in a bit.
Big fan of Rudy. If you guys didn't know.
Yeah, Rudy, if you're watching this, Gio would like 10 autographs. He wants to meet you and give you a nice warm hug.
Rudy, put your face right here.
Hey, yo, that's crazy. But yeah, aside from Gio putting Rudy above Russ on his all-time ranking,
This is insane.
But yeah, I do think Memphis can go far. I think they could fuck around and like, because if they get past either Minnesota, Golden State, or the Clippers, because you could play any of those 3 teams in the first round, if you go up against a Rockets team that's still inexperienced or a Nuggets team that's trolling, they could easily get past both of them, and you're looking at a conference finals with OKC.
I don't think they beat the Nuggets. I think the Rockets potentially.
I don't know if the Nuggets can go 0-2 versus the Washington Wizards in 2025, then like they could easily go out in the first round for all I care at this point.
Yeah.
So it looks bleak for them. I think Memphis could be a sneaky dark horse in this West.
Yeah,
It's possible.
I think again another bold prediction of mine. I'm not going to get into it.
Don't talk about it.
It regards the West, but
Why is he do this? Like,
I'm not going to say what it is.
Save it for tomorrow.
But
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
I
in like
think-
5 minutes.
I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, leave it.
We'll
Thank
talk about
you.
it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. But do you have any sort of final thoughts regarding Memphis,
No.
Mr. Gio?
I think we should get into Minnesota.
Oh,
Let's talk about Minnesota, man.
Thank you.
can I talk about what I just said about Rudy?
Yes, talk about that
So
first.
apparently, the video. So they're planning to play the Pacers tonight. So Andrew Nemhard was driving and Mike Conley was guarding him in this video.
Oh, I just saw the video.
He apparently put an elbow up to Mike Conley, and then Rudy Gobert met him with a shove right to his face, almost like an elbow shove.
It was shoulder to face.
Shoulder to face.
contact.
Nemhard threw the ball at Rudy, so Nemhard got his second technical foul, which ejected him from the game, and then Rudy got a flagrant 2 and ejected him from the game.
Can I just see that clip real
yeah,
quick?
yeah, I'll show you the clip.
Yeah.
Let me hold it, let me
Just
hold
do
it.
it without sound so we don't get demonetized. But yeah, so
That's
basically,
Mike Conley.
Nemhard was driving down the right
That's a
wing.
flop by Conley.
It was a total flop. He didn't even make contact.
Yo.
And Rudy just
I
went
don't
into
do that, bro.
Yeah, Rudy got a school threat badge for that. That's crazy.
Nemhard just threw a ball at his shoulder. I would have threw that ball at his face.
He was probably trying to throw it at his face. He was just
No,
too
he
tall.
doesn't have aim like that.
Yeah, but
That's
Rudy
crazy.
just checked him.
Did Rudy get tossed?
He
Yeah, Rudy
literally-
got tossed flagrant 2.
Good.
Rudy literally put his shoulder into him like he's Ray
Bro,
Lewis, bro.
that was the most egregious flop by Mike Conley.
No, it
I've
was.
ever
It
seen.
was. It was.
Honestly, got to give props. I didn't think 80-year-olds could flop like that. That's impressive. but yeah, aside from the whole Rudy debacle, let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
They are they're if they win tonight, they'll be 13-0 when Julius Randle starts.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yo, Julius Randle, bro, and maybe it was he may have not been the problem.
He's not
I
the
think
problem.
New York was the problem.
Oh.
Oh,
New York is the
talk
problem.
about
Look,
it.
I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down the New York rabbit hole, but I'm just gonna leave that there because it's pretty clear he's a good player and he's helping his team win because they're 13-0 when he plays.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And I think just like this team needed time to kind of gel together.
Exactly.
Because when you have a player that was on your team for a decade or at least just shy of a decade, when he leaves your team, there's an adjustment period that needs to be made, especially when the guy coming in to replace him plays completely different than the guy you just traded, right? So that's why I kept laughing just beyond belief at saying like, oh, the Knicks fleeced the Wolves. Oh my God, the Wolves really traded Cat for this guy. Like,
We still fleeced them.
no, you did
I mean,
not.
Cat is definitely
Cat
the better
is-
player.
Cat is going to
Cat-
finish top 5 in MVP voting.
But like I said, you have to pay Cat $66 million in 2 years. And he can't defend anyone.
We'll see you next offseason if he works on it.
But Cat is worth that money.
No, he's
Cat is
not.
worth- For
I think
us,
Cat
he
is.
is.
You think he's worth the same amount of money as guys like Jason Tatum and Nikola Jokic and Giannis?
Okay, he's not on that level.
Exactly. So
Yeah, he's a level below that.
because here's the thing, if he wasn't making that kind of money, he would still be playing for the Wolves. The Wolves needed to get off of that contract in the worst way possible because they had no flexibility.
Yeah.
Because now you're left in a situation where you can pay Nas Reed because Nas
Right.
Reed's going to
Yep.
command a lot of money in the offseason. You're going to wind up having to sacrifice Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which is fine, but you'll get to keep Nas Reed. And that's huge, especially because you now have Rudy on a decent sized contract, nothing too crazy for the next few years.
Now I
so
have-
he's
I have a
not going to
question.
eat up cap.
I have a question about Minnesota's defense. Do you have any statistics
I do.
showing their defense the past, I don't know, however many games?
Since March 2nd, the Wolves are third in defensive rating.
Okay, there you go.
That's all
Now,
because of
does this
Rudy.
mean, no, it's not. Hold on. Does this mean because of Julius Randle's return? Is
Since
that,
Julius Randle.
yes, since Julius Randle's return, has their defense spiked to the top three.
I hate to break it to you, but not only was he out, but Rudy was out too. When they both came back, the defense completely got better.
Sorry.
So yeah,
Yeah, and he also had J-Mac too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, bro. My guy Rudy made Royce O'Neal look like a lockdown defender.
Royce O'Neal's a good player though.
Yeah, but he's not. He's good in the post defense, but like on the perimeter, like Rudy made that guy look great. Yeah. So you got to give him credit. And also the Wolves they were second in offensive rating.
That's amazing.
Those few weeks, they're first in net rating in the NBA, 14.8.
What are they doing? Are they shooting a bunch of threes? Like, I mean, I know Anthony Edwards
is just chucking them up.
Yeah, he's
good. Like you'd think the 3-point shot is going out of business. Like he's getting. There's got to be a quota.
Yeah.
Like in his contract or something to like, I want you to shoot. You get an extra $2 million if you shoot Boston Celtics numbers amount from.
Wow.
It has to be. I've never seen him take that many in my life.
Now, I've never seen a player as athletic as him shoot from three as much as him. Yeah. That's what's more mind-boggling than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
but
he's my favorite. He's my favorite player in the league.
And the more he practices, the better he's going to get.
Yeah.
The scarier he's going to be for the league. So watch out.
Yeah.
Listen,
Edwards.
Look, I'm not shocked by this because we saw Victor Wembanyama, a 7'5" tower, shoot 15 threes in 3 quarters of an NBA game. So, shout out Wemby. Obviously, hope you're doing well. But yeah, with Ant, I mean, his offensive capabilities are just expanding even more. Mm-hmm. Just need to see him work on passing out of double teams. That's really what we need to see.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how SGA fares in the playoffs with that, because everyone was guarding Ant in single coverage all of last season. Mm-hmm. They're doing the same thing with SGA. It's crazy how no one double teams the guy.
I think SGA is a little bit more crafty than Ant is.
He is, yeah.
So
he also gets to the line a lot better.
Exactly.
But remember, Anthony Edwards looked absolutely unstoppable through the Phoenix series and through the entire regular season.
Yeah.
First 2 games in Denver, they dominated. Yeah. And Denver started doubling him. Yeah. And that's when he played like shit. Yeah. And then Chris Finch and Mike and Nori made some adjustments, and that's when things got better. Yeah. But let's see what SGA does this year. That's what I'm curious to see.
Yeah, man.
Because he's the next big guard to kind of rise up now.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
There's a lot to watch.
Every game.
I'm not going to watch every game. I'm not going to watch every game. I'm going to watch the games that are the most exciting games to watch. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have time for all that, to be honest.
They're all on at nighttime. You can watch them.
Well, no, on the weekends there's some games on at 2 and 3. Yeah. But as long as Russell Westbrook's on television, he's glued.
You know I'm there.
It might only last a round, but
yeah. Don't speak that for the Nuggets. We're gonna go all the way.
I want
Russ is getting that ring, baby.
I want y'all to, but until the Nuggets prove they can show effort on the floor on the defensive end, then they're not winning shit.
Yeah, they're just saving it for the playoffs. Same thing with the Knicks. They're saving it for the playoffs. Okay.
All right, congratulations on the Knicks of being play-in exits. Let's go.
No, but the thing about Minnesota, like Tyler said, Nickeil Alexander-Walker can be sacrificed for Naz Reid easily. And I'm hoping Mike Conley does retire, because then that opens up 2 bench spots for
Rob.
He doesn't need to retire. He could just go to the bench.
Yeah. Rob. And then also Terrence Shannon. It's another guy.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Baller.
He's a good player.
Baller.
First round pick.
Tell me about him a little bit. Give me like a brief overview of him.
Talk about I think he can be just as athletic as Anthony Edwards.
Whoa. How tall is he?
I think he's like 6'7",
okay,
something around there.
6'6".
Oh, I think does he wear 00?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Casual.
Okay. Yeah. He's another guy that's gonna pop off. And then Jalen Clark, another rookie for them. But those 2 guys, Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, can open up those spots for those guys. J-Mac is scoring efficiently.
He's playing great.
Dante looks a lot better. Nas, we know about Nas easily.
Who's Dante?
DiVincenzo.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah, Dante. Looking a lot better. Looked like my fan of the year.
I'm sorry.
Devo. And then Rudy is
he's just Rudy.
Rudy's, like it or not, Rudy's playing good basketball.
I don't like Rudy.
I know you don't like Rudy, but you got to acknowledge that he's playing good basketball. I don't like Embiid, but I have to acknowledge he's a Hall of Famer.
Fine.
You kind of have to call us.
Rudy's not a Hall of Famer.
Rudy is a Hall of Famer.
Damn it.
Rudy's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Rudy is a Hall of
Piss me off.
Someone send this man a Rudy Gobert jersey, bro.
I'm going to get it for him.
I'm going to stop hating. Why am I hating so much? I'm sorry, Rudy. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Should I get him a Utah one or a Minnesota one?
Both.
Both.
Definitely not the Utah.
You know the
please.
half and half.
Oh, we could do that.
Goodness.
Yeah.
100%.
I might
But
actually
look,
burn.
right now, the Wolves will actually get a mid-first round pick because
Yes.
they have Detroit's first. And Detroit's not bad this year, which means it's not lottery protected. The Wolves are going to get like anywhere from like 15 to like 20, could be anywhere in that range.
Yeah, and then since the Minnesota's won 8 in a row, they could get to that 6 seed, and the Lakers could fall to the play-in, the Warriors could fall to the play-in,
So right now, who would the Timberwolves play
the Mavs.
They would
play the
play
Mavs?
No, they would play the Clippers in the play-in.
in the play-in?
Oh wait, Clippers?
Yeah, because it's
oh
7
yes,
versus 8.
you're right.
If they win,
You're right.
if they win that game, then
Then
they would
they
play
play.
the Rockets. If they lose that game, they would play the winner of Sacramento and Dallas.
Yes.
And if they win that game, they would play OKC and get blown out of the gym. Although to be fair, they are 3-1 against OKC this year.
Ooh. So
Yeah.
they might put up a fight.
They could.
Okay, now.
That's why I'm more pissed that like Dallas blew it up because like Dallas had not lost to OKC
Right.
in like over a year.
Well, I think Phoenix overlaps Dallas for that 10th spot because they're so injured.
Low key, like I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would give Portland a much better chance to make the 10th
Portland
spot
could
than
do
them,
that too. Yeah, Portland could easily.
Because like Dallas
How many more
just-
games we got?
There's like 18 more games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough games for that to happen.
Because like right now, Portland's only math is so annoying right
Three
now.
and a half.
They're 5 games back of the 9 seed.
Yeah.
Holy-
So
3 and a
got
half
work
back
to
from the
do.
10.
yeah.
They got work to do.
So right now, I mean, you're only 2 games behind Phoenix. Phoenix is freaking garbage, so you could easily get past them.
Yeah.
They might. I just saw today them. They might fire Bud.
I did see that.
Yeah, another coach, 1 year gone,
And it would be the second year in a row Phoenix does that. 'cause they
Yeah.
just
Is
fired
he
Vogel.
getting paid while
and he'll get paid that whole 5-year contract,
Holy.
I think Bud's the 8th highest paid coach in the league this season.
and he signed a 5-year deal.
Oh God! Like,
Yeah.
just picture this, right? By the end of the decade, the year's 2030, the Phoenix Suns are paying 10 coaches on their payroll.
Yeah, that's not financially good. Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter.
course not.
That money towards coaches doesn't apply to the salary cap. It's just about players.
yeah,
It's still a bad look because it's just useless money
very
going to
useless
waste.
money
Yeah.
going to waste. Exactly.
Goodness. Who's the owner?
Matt
Matt
Ishbia.
Ishbia.
Holy.
Yeah.
Trash can.
This is what happens when an owner's too involved. Remember, we learned this word in social studies growing up in school, laissez-faire.
Yeah.
Hands off. That's what you need with owners. Hire people that know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what you need to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what A-Rod and the new owners come in with Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Because, you know, they're going to come in with a big splash of some sort of trade
Yeah.
or some sort of signing or something of that
Right.
nature.
Yeah.
To at least get Anthony Edwards another, suitable star now that Cat's gone. I like Julius Randle on the team, but it's just like he's not a superstar. Not like he's a multi-time All-Star, but he's not on that level.
Yeah. But he's going to have to be traded if they want to get that star.
Well,
though.
he has a player option. So
Yeah.
whether he either can opt in and request a trade or he opts out, signs elsewhere, and it's out of the Wolves' hand, that's just money gone off the table, which is what they wanted. So I'm curious to see what happens because
Yeah.
now that Randall's playing good, this puts the Wolves in a tricky
Yeah.
spot because now Randall could command a lot of money elsewhere, but he contributes to winning on this Wolves team.
Right.
So it's hard to gauge.
Yeah. Tricky.
So my last question before we close off this segment, there's a real possibility we get a 4-5 matchup between Memphis and Minnesota, a rematch of the first round in 2022.
Yeah.
Minnesota, give me.
How would that series go?
Yeah, man, Minnesota. I already mentioned.
Well, listen.
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Well, every West team from 1 to 7 right now, it's like a hot seat. It's like a burning. It's like a burning
I would say two
for a
through-
lot of them because
2
they
through
could
8.
be first round exits and they're really good teams.
2 through 8's close. OKC should not be
Yeah.
Yeah. sucked into that combo.
Yeah, but they all could be finals contenders.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
there's a legit case I can make for everyone except the Clippers because they're
Yeah.
just not a serious franchise.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like crazier thing, like if OKC somehow gets bounced in the first 2 rounds,
Exactly.
like
Possible.
there's a genuine chance you could see the Warriors or the Timberwolves or the Grizzlies in the finals. Like that's nuts.
Exactly. Like, the whole West is wide open
like,
besides OKC.
We're in a situation too where the Rockets, Nuggets, and Grizzlies are all tied for the 2nd seed. All 3 of them could realistically wind up in the play-in by the end of the season.
Yeah.
anything can happen in the West right now, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think if there's one team I'm actually genuinely might be scared about, it's the Warriors.
I'm
I'm actually scared of them.
Why?
I don't want to see them. If I'm any team in the
Okay.
West, I don't want to see the
Alright.
Warriors.
Jimmy
Curry
Butler
can light it up.
provides-
Jimmy Butler's
yeah.
playing crazy and revive the team.
Yeah.
So they're scary. I don't want to play them if I'm any Western team.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now,
Alright.
it's looking
agree with
looking
that.
dicey right now out west.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm OKC, I am hoping and praying the Warriors stay away from the 4-5 spot because you do not want a second round series against them.
No, you do not.
You
Yeah.
do not. That's the one team. If I'm OKC, I'm trying to avoid OKC and Minnesota at all costs.
Yes.
I think they can handle just about everyone else.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Tyler.
So we'll just kind of have to see going from there. But, do we have any sort of final thoughts regarding any questions regarding these two teams?
No.
All right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get into our 15 bold predictions for the rest of the season. We're going to record this tomorrow, but for you guys, it's only going to be like a half second. So on that note, we'll see y'all tomorrow. And we're back. It's the next day. It's a new day. Got a lot more light in here, thankfully, which is good. Starting to get a lot darker later, which we love. So obviously, like I had mentioned previously, we're going to get into our bold predictions. However, we have two little bits of breaking news to talk about. One that I completely forgot to mention yesterday. That's on me. That's my fault. But the good news is, for y'all, it's just half a second transition. So we're going to talk about it today. So this was posted on the 76ers Instagram and Twitter pages yesterday. We'll put it on the screen right now because there was a lot of speculation regarding what Paul George was going to do after Joel Embiid was ruled out for the season, dealing with all the knee injuries and just his body being banged up, out of shape, all that stuff. So the post says the following. Following consultations with specialists as part of his treatment plan, Paul George has received injections in both his left adductor muscle and his left knee. Following the procedure, George is medically unable to play and will be out for at least 6 weeks. Further updates on his recovery will be provided as appropriate. So the only difference between this statement and the last one is that it wasn't bold. So, clearly the Sixers don't care as much about Paul George with his injury update. But, obviously this has been a disastrous season, more ways than one for this man. I kind of feel bad considering, he was once insane in his prime, and then this whole debacle with his contract stuff in the offseason. So just real quick, any thoughts regarding this?
Listen, this may or may not be a bold prediction of mine.
shoot.
Why is it
So
always?
we're going to leave this for the bold prediction.
All right, so Gio, what are your thoughts then?
On this,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Paul George, outstanding player, used to be. This year, not. My guess is because of the injuries. Maybe this is why, or maybe it's because there's a unexpectedly heavy load that he had to carry this year, and mentally and physically it got to him. So I don't know. Hopefully we get a bounce back. Maybe that's what his bold prediction is, that Paul George will bounce back.
Maybe. You
But
never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the way this whole Sixers, they were like one of the best off seasons that we graded back in August.
Yeah.
So, because they did everything. I mean, you got Paul George for giving up nothing. So, that should have been a win. But to make matters worse, Embiid was not healthy. Obviously, he wasn't healthy. Tyrese Maxey's been insanely unhealthy and inefficient this season. And, I said this a few weeks ago about Najee Marshall. Quentin Grimes, get ready to learn all-star, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he just dropped 46 points last night in their overtime loss to the Rockets. So, I saw a lot of rumors and circulations. The Nets will be highly on his tail in the offseason.
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
And we have the salary cap to give him 4 years for $80 million. I would gladly do that.
Beautiful.
80
In a
mil?
heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's worth
Grimes?
that.
He'll,
Yeah.
he'll probably get upwards of
Is he
60.
worth
Because
that?
the thing is, we have the 41 mil off the books from Ben Simmons. We need someone to get us up to the salary floor. We're already going to re-sign Cam Thomas for just a little bit more than that, probably like 22 mil per year. So if we get Quentin Grimes even for less than that, I will gladly take it.
They play the same position, though. That's awful. You can't have them off the bench.
Well, that's the thing is, if we don't get a point guard, then obviously they both could play. Quentin Grimes can play the three in some instances, but he would probably come off the bench.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. We'll
yeah,
see.
really quick regarding that. And Antoine, you have another thing, and
Yeah.
we'll put the tweet on the screen for this as well.
Yeah, so going back to the equivalent of the 76ers, but in the West, it's the New Orleans Pelicans. Trey Murphy III is going to be out for the rest of the season. after yesterday, he tore his labrum and his rotator cuff in his right shoulder after he dove for a loose ball. So the video, he rolled onto his back. His arm got caught between Asar Thompson and kind of like jerked back awkwardly. And that's it for him. I mean, this is the best player they've had all year. He's former first-round pick. Best player they had all year. Was averaging career highs in 21, 5, and 5. Really good shooter. Just really good improvement this year. He probably was in the conversation for most improved player if Cade Cunningham didn't, go off this year. But he'll be back next year, presumably. But this is the best player. Again, everybody's getting the roundabout in New Orleans at the injury merry-go-round. Right now, the only one that's not been injured all year is probably
Nope.
Yves Missi.
Yves Missi's been the only one.
Yves Missi, their rookie.
Yeah.
Everyone's been injured this year.
Because he's been the only player they've been monitoring minutes for. He's the one not playing a bunch of, 30, 40-minute games. So, yeah, it's just super unfortunate. I mean, this franchise is cursed. We're going to keep saying it until it stops happening because he was having such a breakout season. He was playing outstanding. This is his third straight season of making 153s. So it's so unfortunate, man. But this means that now a lot more offensive load pause is going to be put onto Zion's shoulders. We're about to see, can his body hold up with it?
And possibly like Jordan Hawkins. He was having a big start to the season.
He's a good player, but like if you're talking about usage rate, he's just going to take more like stand-up threes. Zion's going to be doing a lot of the ball handling, a lot of the facilitating, a lot of driving and post-ups and stuff like that.
I mean, next year, if they're all healthy, this is a really good-looking team, especially if Trey Murphy comes back. He's one of my favorite players up and coming. I think he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got massive upside.
He's going to be really good. Herb Jones, we'll see when he comes back. But like I said, next year, this team, when healthy, should be top 5 in the West. Hopefully.
That's in a perfect world. Because it's New Orleans, you have to dock them back a few spots because they can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
So, do you have any thoughts on this, Gio, before we dive into our bold predictions?
I mean, hopefully, what's his name? I was gonna say Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy.
Yeah, that's his name.
Trey Murphy. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully he gets healthy, because a torn labrum, that could lead to a bunch of just shoulder dislocations in the future.
Yeah.
A bunch of my friends, they tore their labrum, and once that happened, they dislocate their shoulder constantly throughout, their lives. So hopefully he gets that, stabilized and, he'll be healthy for the future.
Yeah. Prayers up to both these guys.
Yeah.
They should both be back by the start of next season. I think I got a lot more faith in Trey Murphy bouncing back than Paul George, but we'll just have to see when the time comes. So do we have any final thoughts before we dive into our bold predictions?
Let's go.
All right. So what we're going to do now is our 15 bold predictions for the rest of the 2025 NBA season. This does technically count the offseason as well. We each came up with 5 things, not stuff that are likely to happen, stuff that have a very slight chance of happening or have no chance of happening at all. And it's just as ballsy as possible for us to, see if we're geniuses or idiots by the end of the year. So do we have any sort of questions, comments, concerns before we start off?
No. Who's going to get into it? Me first?
Yeah, you can go first. We're gonna take it in turns. We're going to alternate, and we'll do these in 2 separate segments so our computers don't overheat.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so like Tyler said in the chat, I've made more than 5, but I'm going to go with my original 5, and then I'll say the other 3 if I want to later.
Yeah, we made extras just in case. We didn't tell each other what we're doing.
Yeah. I did not make extras.
That's fine.
You're 5. Fire.
I made 5.
Fire.
Because, I only made extras in case we had duplicates, because there is a chance we do.
I'll send my extras if you have dupes.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so I know yesterday we talked about the Grizzlies and Triple J, and I said maybe he's my bold prediction for Player of the Year, and these guys all jump, he's a Player of the Year. He is not my Player of the Year bold prediction.
You mean Defensive Player of the Year?
Defensive Player of the Year bold prediction. Actually, it is a former Pelican, now turned Atlanta Hawk. He switched birds and became a better bird. See how I did there? Hawks are better than Pelicans. But Dyson Daniels is going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I love this.
That is the bold prediction.
Did you switch this last night just because?
No, I could have showed it to you last night.
Okay.
Yeah, but Dyson Daniels is averaging career highs in points, rebounds, assists, league leading 3 steals per game, and Tyler's favorite stat, and also
Who cares about points, rebounds, and assists for the defensive player? I'm sorry.
I'm getting into it.
That's irrelevant.
This is one of my favorite statistics too, because I feel like these are important in defense and just in general. But deflections, Tyler talks about them all the time. He leads the NBA with 374 deflections. Deflections per 36 with 6.3, and deflections per game with 5.9. I think he's about 100 ahead of the next person in total deflections. I forgot who number 2 was.
Probably Shea.
But he's over 100.
It's either Shea or Jokic.
Yeah, he's over 100. So, listen, I think he's more deserving than Triple J, because Triple J has been out kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
And Dyson's been around for the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's about to pass Ricky Rubio for most steals in a single season.
Oh, wow.
I love the new nickname they coined him, the Great Barrier Thief, because he's Australian. It's amazing. And I've said this multiple times. I think what he does on the defensive end is way more impressive than what Wemby and Mobley and them are doing. Because this guy's only 6'8", he's not
Only 6'8".
Well, I mean, I'm comparing him to guys that are 7 foot, 7'5",
Right,
with
right,
8 foot wingspans.
Right.
Dyson Daniels is only a couple inches taller than me, and I'm a cone on defense. So, like, it's impressive that, you know, we don't see many shorter guys win the award. Marcus Smart was the first time in a long time for the DPOY. So,
Yeah.
and Dyson Daniels kind of keeps the floor high for Atlanta, even though they kind of stink. But he's just a dog,
Yeah.
and he just gives everyone problems.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm not against that for 2 reasons. Dyson Daniels, he can pick up anybody on the court. I feel like there's no mismatch when he's guarding a player.
1 through 5.
Exactly. And also when it comes to help defense as well, that's number 2. His help defense is outstanding as well because he is 6'8". He's not 6'2" or anything.
Right.
He can come over on the weak side and get those blocks. You know what I mean? He can jump. He's athletic. He's very smart in the passing lanes and stuff like that. That's why he has all those deflections. So I see no weakness in his defensive game, and I don't see a reason why he can't win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right, and especially this is the time to do it. Wemby's not playing. You
Yeah.
know, it's wide open.
Yeah.
I think it is a 3-horse race at this point between him, Evan Mobley, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Give me your order right now.
For me personally, or what I think's going to happen?
For you right now.
For me personally, it's Dyson Daniels, Evan Mobley, Jaren Jackson.
So is that really a bold prediction, would you say?
Because Dyson Daniels is not going to win the award.
Okay.
It's going to be Evan Mobley for sure. Dyson
Yeah,
Daniels
probably.
Dyson Daniels might not even be a finalist.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. It's
I hope he will be.
yeah. So it's basically going to be a 2-horse race between Mobley and Triple J. We'll just have to see when the time comes.
Okay.
But I like that prediction a lot. That's like pretty top tier. So
That's good.
All right, do you want me to get into my first one?
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is not a season. This is not a rest of the season one. This is more of an off-season thing because I just don't really see this season ending well for this specific team. And the team I'm talking about is the Milwaukee Bucks. They have a really tough road no matter who they play in the first round. You're either going up against Indiana or Detroit, and if you win that series, you have to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. So to me, I could see them exiting in either round, and I think this offseason, Giannis Antetokounmpo will request a trade out of Wisconsin.
Wow.
You know why? Because that is number 8 on my bold predictions.
Well, luckily we're doing 5, not 8.
Exactly.
So I agree with that.
Okay.
That is 100% going to happen.
Yeah, I just don't. It's hard to tell because like the core that they had when they won the championship had a lot of characteristics and traits that this team doesn't. Like Drew Holiday and PJ Tucker were dogs on the defensive end, whereas now you replace the two of them with what? You have Damian Lillard, who is amazing offensively, can't guard anyone defensively. You have Kyle Kuzma in the building now, who I still don't think is better than Chris Middleton when he's healthy. And yeah, they really haven't replicated that intensity from the championship team. And with Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham in charge of the team, like I just don't really see much of a future here for Giannis and Milwaukee because he does drop hints at requesting trades. And when he's not doing that, he's highly pressuring the front office to make moves. Otherwise, Dame would not be a Buck right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. And the fact that he's let 2 of his closest friends on the team get traded, and the fact that Thanasis isn't even on the team anymore, this gives him all the incentives possible to request out and go elsewhere.
Where's Thanasis?
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well, honestly, not a bad take, Tyler. I would ask you if they get to the second round, they lose to the Cavs, who are the number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah.
Does Giannis still request out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, he requests out.
I think the only way he doesn't is if they lose like a heartbreaker in 7 games. And I just don't really see it going to 7. Because the way Cleveland, even if they play Boston too, it's like the way they're both dominating their opponents. It's just, it's not going to be a close series, I don't think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree with this. It's number 8. I think this is going to happen regardless of what happens. If they make the finals, probably he'll stay.
Hello.
Duh, yeah.
Maybe it depends, but I think
50.
this is happening. That's. I think with Luka trade happening, it gives him more prerogative to
Maybe
do this.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, just for Milwaukee to gauge what they can get for him.
Well, they'll obviously host a bidding war for him, and there would be a lot of first round picks up for grabs.
Let me ask you
You're gonna need
guys.
30 phones with you at once,
Basically,
to pick up every team.
Let me ask you guys. Where would he go? What team would he go to?
there's an answer I have that I really don't like.
I think the answer is it's the logo he's wearing on his shirt.
Brooklyn
Brooklyn?
Nets. I do not think so. Because, like I said, Milwaukee's going to field the best offer. There's one of 2 options I see happening here. Either he's going to Golden State or he's going to OKC.
I was going to say Golden State.
Yeah, I think the reason being is like Golden State still has young talent they can give Milwaukee, like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody.
Yep.
And OKC has a boatload of picks. And if this doesn't work this year, like if Hartenstein gets figured out in the playoffs again, you have $28 million that you can chuck in a salary filler, along with Nikola Topic or whatever young talent they have, like Isaiah Joe or Aaron Wiggins.
No, not Aaron Wiggins.
Well,
Don't get rid of him.
Look, the savior of basketball for Giannis. Like,
No,
that's a
they could
great
probably
deal.
throw in like AJ Mitchell.
They could, but he doesn't have as much upside as the other guys. Like Topic is the big young piece they
Topic
have,
is the one. Yeah,
but I could see him going to OKC without a doubt.
that'd be insane.
So
Okay.
We'll see. We will see.
Yeah.
we shall see.
Yeah.
All right,
Get into
Gio,
mine.
let's get into your first bold prediction.
Russell Westbrook retires.
That's crazy. When do you think he'll retire?
I'll give him another 2
more years.
That's fair. Yeah,
Another
2
2.
years.
understandable.
He's got to
All
come
right.
to. He's got to come to the Knicks, then he can retire.
That's wild.
That'd be cool. So I can go watch him.
That's true.
Anyways, my bold prediction is the Magic will trade for LaMelo Ball or Anthony Simons in the offseason.
Ooh,
What do we
That is.
we're getting controversial.
You know what? I was gonna put the Magic on here for LaMelo or Trey Young, but
Yeah.
I think Anthony Simons is still a pretty good guy.
Yeah. So what do we think? What's more
I think
likely to happen? And yeah, go for it.
Who's the first name? You said LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball in the offseason. They're going to trade for him.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy take, but it's bold.
Yeah,
That's the whole point of this, right?
that's true.
Problem with LaMelo is that this team's already injury prone. You can add another injury prone guard. Anthony Simons has been healthy all year round for like the past 3 years, and he's putting up like 25 and like 5 every game for Portland.
Yeah.
That'll probably get you more consistency at point guard. That's what I would do.
So you see Anthony
I think-
Simons as the better option.
Isn't
for
that the
this Magic
trade
team.
prediction I did during the trade?
I think so. Yeah.
That was the trade prediction
No,
I
you
did?
did Colin Sexton.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But Anthony Simons is right there.
Thing is, I
Sexton.
actually think if LaMelo Ball goes to Orlando, Paolo and Franz won't have as much usage because they're playing off ball. They might not get injured as much.
That's true.
But then again, LaMelo can't stay healthy. Those ankles are so far gone. They're like
LaMelo
almost-
can play off ball too. I
He
hope
can.
you know that.
He can.
Remember
but
in high school with the Ball brothers, he thrived
Right.
with Lonzo being the main point guard.
the main problem is that the Magic's offense is garbage without a point guard. So he'll have to play on ball like 90% of the time for it to work because Paolo and Franz can't get it going by themselves. So I think Anthony Simons could work, but they need Trey Young. If they truly want to be in the conversation with Boston and Cleveland, you have to go all in for the All-Star. And I understand that LaMelo is an all-star, but Trey Young is better than him, especially when it comes like he's a much better playmaker. He's leading the league in assists, and obviously, he's led bad teams. He's led a bad team to the conference finals.
It's not a bad team. Don't say
It was quite a bad.
That's a
team.
good team.
The one he led to the conference finals.
Yes.
It was him, Kevin Herter, John Collins, Clint Capella. It's very average.
No,
Yeah, but
at that
when they
time
came
they were
time
at
for the
their
playoffs,
highest.
they were playing outstanding
They were
ball
At
because
that
of
time.
as
Trey
a team
Young.
together.
Like I
Trae
said,
Young was definitely the main part.
A great point guard and a great playmaker really elevates a team.
Yeah.
And looking back on it now, that team's not as good as I thought it was,
Okay.
Okay. All right.
especially considering where the players are now.
Yeah, I
They've
think
regressed a lot.
that was their peak in Atlanta for all those guys.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Herter's dropped off massively.
Oh yeah,
Collins is kind of
he's
Utah.
about the same player.
Yeah.
You know,
He just doesn't
Capella
get
had
the
to drop. I used to
opportunities.
hate Kevin Herter. Oh my god, on Atlanta, I used to hate him more than Trey.
Why?
Because he would just pop threes.
And he would
Yeah.
be knocked down.
Yeah,
Like it was the perfect.
he was knocked down.
He was knocked down back in the day.
It was the perfect like hate watch for me because they took down the Knicks and the Sixers. Like
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It just sucks that they lost to Milwaukee because I think they could have won that series if Trey Young didn't get injured. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like it.
I like
Okay.
that.
All right, Antoine, let's get into your second bold prediction. What is on the menu?
Don't do
Excuse
that.
me. Okay. Okay.
Okay, have the common courtesy. Just go away from the
Excuse me.
mic. Sorry, guys.
All right. This is playoff driven.
Okay.
We talked about this briefly yesterday, but this is what I think is going to happen. A team in the West, not named the Oklahoma City Thunder, will make the NBA Finals.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, the odds of that happening is
to be fair,
not necessarily low.
historically, this is a bold prediction
Okay.
because, history has taught us that teams, I think 13 out of the last 15 teams to win more than 67 regular season games
Can I
made the finals.
can I
Okay.
add a counter prediction
Please.
to that?
Yeah.
I guess the counter prediction, no, the one that confirms this is another one of mine. Is I have one of the top 3 teams in the NBA will crash out in the second round.
Okay,
that
I
would
mean-
be OKC for me.
That is okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So OKC's not. It will be a second round exit. Okay.
That's basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
History has told us that 13 out of the last 15 teams to win 67 games or more in the regular season make the finals. And the 2 teams, or I think 1 or 2 of the teams that didn't make the finals, there was another team in the same conference that had more than 67 wins. So it's definitely, OKC's playing historically insane. Like their defense is ridiculous. SGA's carrying that team in more ways than one. He's most likely going to be the league MVP. So I could see it. The only way, obviously, it doesn't happen is if they're not healthy. What do you think?
I mean, look. One of my bold predictions is that the Cavaliers will be a second round exit. I'll just tell you now because it's practically the same thing.
Right.
Both number 1 East and West teams second round exit. So
Yeah.
you're not far off from what I'm thinking here. So I think it's possible. I think anything is possible, and that's the most fun thing about NBA basketball in the playoffs is
Right.
anything can happen.
So you technically think then the Pacers can beat the Cavs or the Pistons
do.
could beat the Cavs?
I do, or even the Bucks.
Okay.
I do
Oh
think
my
that.
God.
All right.
I'm crazy.
When
That's
they win the
fair.
NBA Finals this year,
Yeah,
You have to buy a Cavs
Gio's
jersey.
got to come with the bag on his head.
I will.
No, we'll make him wear a Cavs jersey.
The Cavs are not winning the finals. Okay,
Okay.
I already have my LeBron Cavs jersey
Yeah.
or
No.
JR.
you have one?
No, get him a Darius Garland jersey
Yeah,
because he
I'll get
doesn't
him a
believe.
No, don't give me a Garland
We
jersey.
have to.
I'll take a. If anything, I'll take a Jared Allen jersey.
What, Donovan Mitchell?
Nah,
Okay, fair enough.
I'm messing.
I'll
up.
get him I don't know. We'll figure.
Yeah, we'll figure that out because I think they have a real shot at winning.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I could see more of an exit for. I don't
What's
know.
more likely?
I don't know. It's like
well-
both conferences, like both second
The
round.
East
series
is
are
low
tough.
key good.
The East is bad. It's just like
No.
No. I think one of the top 3 teams crash out second round.
Okay.
I think Cleveland, OKC, or Boston, one of them crashes out second round.
that's understandable.
But look, the East is low key good. Like you were saying, the Pistons,
It's
the Pacers,
better.
they
They could.
could play, man.
They could.
You saw Obi Toppin?
Yeah, he hit
Insane.
the
Oh my God! Please stop with former Knicks talk.
he hit the Peter Griffin shot last night.
Please.
Yo, I don't know what I was watching the other night with Obi. He had like 12 straight points in like the overtime fourth quarter, and it was just insane.
Because there was no all the Pacers' primary ball handlers were out the game.
Yeah, but he was hitting. So it's
Exactly.
like, why'd you give him up, Knicks?
They weren't playing him, so it doesn't really matter.
Tibbs doesn't care for young people,
That's a
young
shame.
players, young ballers
It's a shame.
like
the
Grimes
truth.
and Toppin. We could need
Uh-oh.
them. We need them both. Actually, I would love them back.
Honestly, you do.
Both of them.
Sucks that the Pistons traded Grimes for Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh yeah,
How's he? I mean, he's been doing.
he's been like a good veteran.
pretty good.
Been good, yeah,
Very
but
good
Quentin
veteran.
Grimes is better. All right, we are back. Sorry for that. Gio's laptop went kaput, but we're back. We're ready to keep going into our bold predictions. Time for me to get into my second one. Are we ready?
Let's go.
All right, so this is kind of on the same theme of playoff related, kind of quite the opposite of what you both said, because you both said the Cavs and the Thunder will both get eliminated in the second round. My bold prediction, I think the Cavs and the Thunder will sweep their first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
All right, I have to look at the logistics. Who are they playing right now?
Well, you're playing a play-in team regardless in the first round. I think the Thunder would play the winner of. Let me just pull the standings up right now, actually, and I'll tell you exactly who's playing what. So in the Eastern Conference, the Cavs would play the winner of Atlanta and Orlando, and then in the West, as of right now, it's the winner of Minnesota and the Clippers, but that can change, obviously.
So if it stays like that, I don't see it happening for OKC.
Minnesota's hard.
Minnesota's a tough out. Never mind sweeping them. I don't think that's going to be the
sorry,
case.
I gave you the wrong info.
Okay.
That's the 2 seed. So the Cavs would play the winner of, it could be one of Miami, Chicago, Orlando, or Atlanta, because they're the 1 seed. And in the Western Conference, if Minnesota beats the Clippers would play the winner of Sacramento and Dallas, and whoever wins that game gets OKC.
Okay, so I think if the Cavs play Miami, I think Miami gets 1.
Are you sure?
Just because of Eric Spoelstra.
No.
They've lost
they get
8 games in a row.
I know, but I still think Miami can get 1.
Okay.
Everyone else, I don't see any hope for.
Yeah. And then what about second round?
Second round, ooh.
It's harder second round.
So the Thunder, as of right now, they'd play the winner of the Lakers and Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern Conference, the Cavs get the winner of the Bucks and Pacers.
Yeah, no.
But the Pistons are a half game behind both of them, so
Yeah.
it'd be either or.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I mean, that's tough. Like, I don't know how you can say that, being that you're super high on the Pacers.
That's it. I'm saying I think the Pacers and the Lakers are the only 2 teams they won't sweep. I think if you get the Bucks in the second round, I think Cleveland can sweep them.
Okay.
And I think if the Thunder get the Grizzlies in the second round, I think they can also sweep them.
Okay. You know
I think
what?
just the both of them have the average margin of victory is 10 to 12 points. So these games aren't even close.
That's
I mean, look, it's definitely a bold prediction because the likelihood of that happening twice for both of those teams, sweeping them, it's very unlikely. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
Boston had 2 sweeps last year.
yeah.
So it's
Boston
definitely
was
possible.
insane.
Yeah, Boston they were ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely think it's doable.
Okay.
I
that's
believe
interesting.
in both Cleveland and, for the most part, OKC. We'll see if OKC can get out of the second round.
I am not Believeland.
We know.
Okay.
So, all right, Gio,
All right, ready?
your next prediction.
Number 3 for me is Bronny James become
Why?
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 Becomes
Listen
what?
to my bold prediction, bro.
Bald?
Bold prediction.
Oh, my goodness.
Bronny James becomes an integral piece for the Lakers rotation.
That is. Can we just move on?
Yeah. I should
Talk about discuss. Talk about.
No.
Tyler, go.
On what planet do you see this happening?
Look, man, Bronny James, we said it yesterday, or if you're watching, 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Bronny James has been averaging, 36, 37 points per game in the G League.
Could you
This
change-
man can hoop.
Could you change that to Austin Reeves?
He's already an integral
yeah.
part of the Lakers rotation.
Oh, okay. Can you change that to?
And look, there's no timeline on this, by the way. I didn't mention by the end of the season. I didn't mention in the playoffs. I'm saying eventually he will become an integral part of the Lakers rotation.
But remember, this is bold predictions for 2025.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't care. I'm switching it up. I'm switching up the script. We're going till 2027, okay?
Yeah. I'll tell you this, and I'll be honest with you on this.
Yeah.
Bronny James will be a decent bench player at best, and the minute LeBron retires, they are cutting his ass. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I mean, I think Bryce James has a better chance of becoming an integral part of a team once he gets drafted than Bronny. So if he could have changed that, but
Yeah.
no, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge because there's a lot of guys in the G League that drop 20 to 30 points in a game.
No,
Yes,
not like this.
And when they go to the NBA, they're awful.
it happens all the
Bro,
time.
Reed Shepherd has been cooking in the G League. He's had one good game this season in the NBA.
Well, he hasn't gotten opportunity. It all
matter.
comes down to opportunity.
Whenever he's had opportunities throughout the season. The only time he had the big game was when everyone was out injured.
Yeah.
So he had to run the offense. But when he's playing with the starters, when you're drafted third overall, you're supposed to be playing, with the main starting lineup. It just hasn't been that good.
Yeah, he's a project. I think next year he'll be a little better.
I agree.
Hopefully.
And I think the same thing about Bronny James. I think next year he will be better.
I can't see it.
Confidence will be higher. All that.
You put the bold in bold prediction.
He really
Hey,
did. That is
that's
a bold
what this is
prediction.
about,
I
so.
respect it.
Yeah.
It's a bold prediction. It's
Aye.
a delusional prediction.
Clearly, you're Rich Paul's other agent. That
Oh, he
works for
definitely
him.
is.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right.
yeah,
Let's move on.
I guess,
It's okay.
Bro has more belief in Bronny James than the freaking 56-11 Cleveland Cavaliers. That's blasphemous. That's wild.
It's accurate, though.
I don't know about that one, Chief, but you know what? I'll let
Look, if
you
Bronny
do
James
you.
goes to the Cavaliers, I might be a Believe land.
No, you won't. That's crazy work. But all right,
Anthony.
Antoine, get into your next one.
All right. I'm going to get to the Philly one. I know we talked about Paul George in the beginning, so I'm going to circle back to that. So, Philly having a season from hell. For me, I think it's time for them to completely move on from Paul George and Joel Embiid. So if I'm Philly, I am trading both of them out and rebuilding completely around Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain.
How much can you get for either of those guys?
Depends who wants either of them.
That's the problem. Right now, both their values are as low as can be.
Right.
So you're not going to get much for them. You're probably going to get 2 first-round picks, maybe 3 for Embiid. You're going to get. You'd be lucky to get 1 for Paul George right now.
You would be.
Yeah, I just think it's time for them to just scrap it. They traded Caleb Martin already. He's out. They got Quentin Grimes, which was a good trade for them. I think they should just rebuild around your young guys.
If you want to rebuild, trade the guys that have value. Trade Maxey. Maxey has value, if you ask me.
Can't trade
Maxey's not the most durable either. That's the other problem Philly's kind of getting themselves into. Same thing with McCain. This team can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
So it's tough to kind of gauge what you want to do here.
I think, but
He's younger.
Right.
Well, yeah, but for Maxey and McCain, they're just starting at Embiid and George. It's the same thing every single year. Like, just cut ties. Let's move on with our lives.
I'm struggling
Like,
to.
that's it.
I'm struggling I'm struggling about it now, because you just signed Paul George last year to 4 years, $212,
God.
and you just signed Embiid to a 3-year, $193 million extension. So they're clearly committed. But if you give up on them now, like that contract, both contracts are garbage.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get anything for them. No team's going to want to take that on.
Yeah.
And the ghost of Paul George and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to have to play it out, see, and hope for the best. But if they do want to rebuild, you have to. You got to get rid of Maxey, I think. You also have to get rid of Grimes as well, because he has value, right?
Right.
So you got to get rid of the guys that have value to really rebuild and get those high draft picks that are going to be that star player for your team. So
it all starts with getting a top 6 pick this year, so it doesn't go to OKC.
yeah.
If you if you win the lottery, Cooper Flagg comes in. Now you have questions to answer. Do you want to throw Cooper Flagg right into the fire with these boys, or do you want to build around him and trade everyone else? That's kind of the thing. I'm trying to figure out what I would do if I'm Daryl Morey, if he even is the one making decisions at that point. That's where I'm unsure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think it's definitely. I think it's more likely the season after. So I think in the summer of 2026, that's when you might start to see some movement regarding these guys, because they'll both have 2 years left on their deal. And that's like the primo time to get off the money and get off the contract and stuff like that.
I think an even bolder version of that prediction would be the Sixers bounce back and become a top 3 seed next year.
Which is exactly what he's going to do in the summer.
Oh,
You.
yes, I am.
Yeah, of course you are.
Stop it.
Embiid needs to play games for them to be in.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's
Top
that's
three.
that's a part of it. Embiid's going to be healthy this season, and Paul George, and they're all going to play well together, and yada yada yada. and
We
get
literally
top
said this
3
a
seed.
year ago.
Yeah,
We literally did, but we all expected that to happen. Now it's a bold prediction.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess understandable.
All right.
So, okay.
What do you got?
All right, let me get into my third bold prediction. We're going to keep on this same trend of the NBA playoffs. It just feels like this is going to happen again this year, because obviously we have the top 3 teams. They're far and away better than everyone else and stuff like that. Teams could falter off and everything like that. I think a play-in team will make a conference finals this season.
Wow.
That's only doable for Minnesota.
I think that's the only team.
Remember, teams can fall back, right? The Lakers and Nuggets and Grizzlies can still all wind up in the play, and even the Rockets can wind up there. It's so
But
close. It's like a
I
three.
see.
There's like a 3-game separation between all
Well,
these
yeah.
teams.
Yes.
Tyler, you're really good at trying to prove your point, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think it's doable. I think for more West than East.
Yeah, I think
I think that's where it's predicated at.
But then it
Minnesota
doesn't make
has-
it that bold. Let's say if the Nuggets or the Lakers fall back, it's not even a bold prediction anymore.
I mean, both the Nuggets and the Lakers are incredibly flawed, so it would be hard for
Yeah.
them. Like if they make the play-in, that means they would have to if they lose the play-in game, for example. Let's say Denver falls into the 7 seed, you lose the play-in game to whoever you lose to, and then you win. You have to play OKC round 1. We don't know if they're even going to get past that.
Exactly.
So, and like the Clippers are 18 games behind first. They're only 3 games behind. Only 3 games behind 6. They're only 5 games behind second. So anything is possible here. It's just OKC and then everyone else, and then the bum teams at the bottom.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
yeah, because Minnesota, obviously, if they could beat anyone, whether it's Houston, Denver, the Lakers, Memphis, you win that second round series against whoever doesn't play those teams, they could easily get themselves back to the conference finals. The way they're playing, very much doable.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now the West is not separated like OKC is separated from the rest of the West, and 2 through 7 are all 2-3 games apart. So no one else is separated like OKC has from the standings.
Right.
So it's a lot more doable for that to happen.
Yeah, because in the East, the only problem is that like you have Cleveland and Boston sitting there. They would have to get past either of them to get to the second round, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're better. They're way better than any of these teams, like Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago. They're all so flawed and so ass. It's just not going to happen. And I just can't really see an avenue for them to really get over the hump. So, yeah, my if I were to put my money on it, I would say Minnesota. They could definitely get back to the conference finals.
Yeah.
But we'd have to see, obviously, in a couple weeks from now when we do our playoff predictions.
Yeah.
So
Excited.
I'm excited for that, too. It's going to be good.
All right, G.
So, all right,
All right.
Gio.
You
What do you got
ready?
next? This is your penultimate one.
All right. My next one is the New York Knicks defense will skyrocket to league best during the playoffs.
Okay, so he completely he completely took my next
Did I?
bold
prediction.
because my next one is the New York Knicks will make the conference finals.
Oh, well,
That's not really a bold prediction. It
That's
can't
so bold.
They're a 3 seed.
Okay,
supposed to
make the-
believe in your team,
Make the
bro.
NBA finals.
what, bro? Don't switch it up. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think about my take, though? Knicks defense. Because, look, if you really look at them on paper, they have the guys that you need to have a decent or a good defense. So I think that they're going to lock it in during the playoffs, and they're going to be league best in the playoffs. What do we think?
I would love that. Like, that's a dreamland, but Cat getting defensive, it's
Well, it doesn't. He's only one guy. I'm
yeah.
saying all the other guys.
I hope JB defends when he comes back. I hope McHale
Brunson's a
defends.
great
I know.
charge
OG
drawer.
is fine. Hart, we know, does everything. The bench, Precious and Mitch, it's doable. I got to see it happen though.
Yeah, that's why it's a prediction.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Go.
Which team is better defensively? This year's Knicks team or last year's Knicks team?
Last year.
Last year.
I hate to break it to you, but last year's playoffs, the Knicks defense was second bottom in the playoffs.
Interesting.
So that is bold.
It's crazy how you have the stat right on deck, ready to go. Did you
looked-
just
he
look that
looked
up?
it
Look it
up.
up, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
quick with it, bro. I have to lie.
Yeah, they had a 118 defensive rating. Or, no, that's offensive rating. Sorry, they had a 120 offensive rating. That's garbage.
Wow.
The only team worse than them was Phoenix, and they got swept. So it's going to be tough because, like, you know, last season in the playoffs, obviously Orlando only played 7 games, so they had the top of, like, as far as teams that got past round 1,
Yeah.
the Knicks were bottom.
Yeah.
So, you know, Tom Thibodeau's this defensive-minded guy. I'm not really seeing a defensive scheme at all.
Yeah, man. I understand that, but
Because you know what? I don't think any of these guys want to play defense on our team. That's why.
But
Why?
last year, though, they couldn't really defend either.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just think Tibbs is relying just
They were also
on
playing-
firepower.
I mean, look, they were also playing against the best offense in the league, the Pacers last year. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying?
Still, though, like a lot of people going into that Pacers series thought the Knicks would sweep them in 4 games.
Okay, not sweep them.
A lot
It's
of
the best
a lot
offense
of people
in the
thought,
league.
right, but the Pacers couldn't defend. So if the Knicks, the Pacers weren't much better defensively than the Knicks last year in the playoffs. I think they were 13th out of 16 teams. So, it's kind of it's hard to gauge, and the fact that like you played a banged up Philly in round 1 and they still were putting it to you offensively. That's where I was kind of struggling with it.
Yeah. It was a different team. I think this year we have to see for
Right.
sure what happens. Who they play round 1. Last year was scary. I thought Philly was going to Embiid on one leg, was looking really good. So we'll see. That's literally that's the saying. We'll see.
We'll see.
That's literally the saying.
I think the Knicks have a better chance at losing in the first round than making the conference finals.
Wow.
Wow. My bold prediction's out the window.
Wait, so what was yours? You
Make
repeat
the
it?
conference
Make
final.
the conference final.
You have another backup one though, right?
For the one that I just said?
Yeah. 'Cause you should have 2 left.
Yeah, I have. This one's a lot more doable. It's not really bold.
That's fair, but you
Dallas misses the playoffs completely, and Phoenix takes that last play-in spot.
Phoenix sucks.
yeah, they're really bad. They're
Yes,
really.
you can say that's bold because I don't see that
If
happening.
you want to be bold, I think Portland gets that last spot.
Yeah, I was thinking that could happen too.
Yeah, because like the way Portland's playing, I just see more. They want it more. I don't. Phoenix. I can't with Phoenix, man.
But it's Kevin Durant, though.
It's Kevin Durant.
It can't.
Kevin
Yeah,
Durant.
exactly.
So you know what? I'm with that. I think the
Playoffs, he
Suns will
turns
make
up.
it. I think come playoff time, KD's going to be KD. And that's just it is what it is.
Now, do you think they get out of the play-in?
No.
Hey, look,
I think they win one game.
You're
in the
looking.
play-in.
You're looking at a play-in match against the Kings.
I think they win one game in
The
the play.
Kings, they could win. I
They
only the
could
second.
easily win. They beat the Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, like they. You're looking at most likely the Clippers to get the 8 seed.
It's possible. man.
Possible. I give Portland a much better chance, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think KD in the playoffs and Devin Booker. I don't care what the regular season. I don't care what you saw in the regular season. I think they can win you a couple games in the playoffs.
It's hard though, because like the KD and Booker, they're on what? They're on a 6-game playoff losing streak right now
Yeah.
because they got swept last year and they lost game 5 and 6 to Denver in 2023. So it's tough. And what are you going to get from Bradley Beal? What are you going to get from these guys?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I genuinely have no idea. Like Phoenix is an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, they're done.
And Dallas even going to have a franchise to even? Are they going to have a franchise by playoff time? Like they may have to
Exactly.
forfeit games. Like they're clearly right now they're a game ahead of Phoenix,
Yeah.
and Phoenix just beat them the other night. So they're on the way up. Portland right now is currently 2 games behind Phoenix,
It's not bad at
3
all.
games behind Dallas. There is a
possible.
chance.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Very
Spurs are way out of it. They're about to get eliminated from playoff contention.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, if Wemby was healthy, they would have 100%.
Probably.
Yeah, they'd be
Made
in
the
the play.
play.
Been closer.
Yeah.
They're going to make a run at the playoffs next year because Wemby's out for the season. Fox is out for the season. So,
Yeah.
it should be, a little bit more interesting when the time comes. But I don't.
Is Chris Paul done after the season?
He signed a 1-year deal. So
Yeah, we'll have to see.
he either comes back or he signs elsewhere. He's not retiring.
Yeah.
He's not retiring?
No shot. So, all right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a prediction. So, do you want me to get into my bold prediction?
Last one?
No, I have 2 more.
You have 2 more.
So yeah. All right. So this is going to be another off-season based prediction. And this is one that I've kind of mentioned in the past couple of weeks. But I think in the offseason, the Boston Celtics will trade for a star point guard. And I think it's going to be either John Morant, Trey Young, or LaMelo Ball.
No.
I don't see it
Please
at all.
don't.
I see the Celtics going all in, balls to the wall
For a LaMelo Ball.
for any of these 3 guys.
I don't want that to happen. They're
No.
already good. I really don't.
I mean, I think if that even happens, I don't know if that will help them so much.
I mean, think about it this way, right? I mean, this is probably, as far as this decade, this has been Drew Holiday's worst season. He hasn't been healthy. His 3-pointer's been very inconsistent. He's making $36 million.
Yeah.
You could easily get off that money and, You know, you can even throw Anthony Simons into this conversation. They already traded away. They already made a deal with Portland to get Drew Holiday. You can send Drew Holiday back there. They can reroute him to another contender. You bring in Simons, or you can bring in Ja Morant, or you can bring in LaMelo Ball. Like, Drew Holiday has value still.
Yeah.
And I think, we don't know what's going to happen with the Celtics this season. If they lose in the second round, or if they lose in the conference finals to Cleveland, there's a chance that this could all happen. Yeah.
It's possible, actually, yeah.
Because Boston made it clear last offseason that they don't care about the second apron. They're going all in with their contracts, right? They gave Derek White like $126 million.
Yeah.
They gave Tatum and Brown all this money.
That's precisely the guy, Derek White, that I think if they get rid of Drew Holiday, Derek White now moves into that, that starting point guard position.
He already starts.
Exactly.
So I don't think he wouldn't be the starting point guard. He would still be the starting two.
Yeah.
So if you trade for Ja Morant, for example, you're looking at a lineup of Ja Morant, Derek White, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis. That's a damn good lineup.
That's an all-star lineup.
And that, if Cleveland wins it all, that's how you compete with Cleveland next season. Because if Drew Holiday gives you nothing in that series, then it gives you incentive to move off of him, especially if he can't stay healthy and stuff like that, because they're already old enough.
I think more than anything else, I think they'll need a big. Horford's getting old. Porzingis can't stay healthy.
Look, man, Horford's been playing really
great
this season. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he's playing great, but he's old.
And Porzingis has been sick. That's why he's been out. He just came back.
Right.
So, yeah, look, man, I think it's very likely the Celtics make another big splash in the offseason to try and win another title if they don't win it this year.
Fair point.
I don't want them.
Why do you?
Of course, we don't want it, but
because I don't want them to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what they do, they're still going to be better than the Knicks.
Yeah. Even if they lose Holiday, they're still
We'll
there.
see 5 years from now.
5 years from now, you probably are both going to suck. Let's be honest.
You. I like that. I like the sound of that.
No, as long as they still have Tatum and Brown, they'll be fine.
That's true. I mean, 5 years from now, they'll be in there. Jaylen Brown will probably be around 30. Tatum will be 19. So
Yep.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What you got, G?
Yeah. So this is my last one.
Yep.
So I originally had that the Timberwolves would knock out OKC, but we kind of already discussed them a little bit. So I came up with one in my head on the fly.
Okay.
And that's going to be that Amen Thompson makes his, coming to the NBA. Well, he's been in the NBA already, but his coming to the NBA moment where he rises as that all-star guy, and he's going to lead the Rockets to the conference finals.
Oh, wow.
This is my bold prediction.
Okay. You know what? I'm fucking with that.
That's not bad at all.
I love this. All right, so let's look at the standings real quick. So right now, Houston currently sits in second. They're tied with Denver and a game ahead of the Lakers and Grizzlies. So if the season ended today, you're looking at a first-round series against Minnesota. So very bold.
Yeah.
And then if you win that, then you're playing either Denver or Golden State in the second round.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Very bold. Very bold.
Very bold.
I think Houston needs to trade Fred VanVleet this offseason, make Amen the starting point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah, starting point guard.
He needs to be the franchise point
Wow.
guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you make him run it, and that's it. You run away with everything.
Okay.
And then Reed Shepherd gets better, hopefully.
Wait.
You have a nice starting five.
So, if Amen Thompson is the starting point guard, where does Reed fit in?
He would come off the bench.
Two or three, maybe.
A 3? Reed's
Reed's a
6'2".
shooting guard.
6'2".
Shooting guard. You can put Jalen Green. Yeah, I guess.
No, because if you're trading Fred VanVleet, you have to trade Jalen Green with him. Because if you're trading for, let's say you trade for Kevin Durant, what's Phoenix going to do with Fred VanVleet? You need someone young that's got upside. So you're going to have to sacrifice either Jalen Green or Reed Shepherd in the deal. And Jalen Green's just the more enticing piece right now than Reed Shepherd. Because Reed Shepherd essentially is just a younger Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Jalen Green is kind of the same thing as well, but he's a little bit more dynamic. He can play make better. So.
Yeah. But what do we think? Amen Thompson is leading it. So it's not just the Rockets going to the conference finals. It's Amen Thompson leading them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
We think that's doable?
I mean, when he did the question about Houston, who's going to be that guy? Who's going to be their franchise player? I said it was going to be Amen Thompson. So it would not surprise me if he's the one stepping up because it's been a very inconsistent All-Star season for Şengün. And I really haven't seen much of him, really,
After the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's just been very lackluster.
Yeah.
I want to see more, and I just haven't. So Amen Thompson, ever since he threw Tyler Hero to the ground, he's been on smoke. So,
All right.
do you think they can get to the
I like
conference?
that.
Do you think they can get to the conference finals?
You think so?
It's doable.
Okay.
Every West team 1-6 is doable for West.
You can say no. It's okay.
No, I think it's any team is doable right now for them.
All right.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not bad. I like that one.
All right, my last one. This is an awards prediction for this last one. Gio, I'm gonna ask you if you know who this player is. Oh wait, I don't want. I'm gonna just show it to him. I don't want to give it away to Tyler.
Okay. Because I feel
I probably don't know.
you definitely don't know who it is.
Do you know who this is?
Let me say this.
I'm trying to figure out who they're talking about because I don't know what award.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
god!
That's
I'm low
crazy.
key. I'm low key a casual, guys.
Oh, Loki's an understatement.
Okay,
Who is it?
the player. You're gonna remember the name.
What's the
Okay.
award?
This
Camara.
guy's gonna make all defensive
Oh,
first
oh!
team.
Yeah, Toumani.
That's the guy on the
Camara.
Trailblazers. I know who this is.
Yeah.
Because I was watching him and he reminded me of Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
My last Toumani Camara will make all defensive first team.
Yeah.
So now you know who that is?
I do know who that is.
So Toumani, just like Dyson
freaky name.
Daniels, he was named DPOM in February, which is Defensive Player of the Month. He's the only NBA player to record 80 rebounds, 20 plus steals, and 10 plus blocks in a month. He leads the NBA in charges taken with 27,
Wow.
which is very impressive.
Yeah.
I can't take a
For
charge.
a big guy. Yeah. Sure
and
can.
charges
Yeah.
drawn per game with .41, and he's recorded at least one steal in 50 games, and that's tied for second most in the NBA right now.
Wow.
Yeah, Toumani Camara.
Another
Remember
fuck
the
up.
name.
Another fuck up from Matt Ishbia. Traded him for
Yeah.
Nurkic.
I mean, look,
Diabolical.
really?
Yeah. He was in the Nurkic.
this guy
trade.
Toumani,
Remember that.
he's a big reason why the Blazers are playing great
Oh,
ball.
absolutely.
Big part of that.
And they just got Thibault back, so
Yeah.
they're like a defensive duo. And
Scary.
I forgot I was listening to a podcast. I forgot who it was. They compared Toumani Camara to Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
It's just Scottie Pippen's obviously leaps and bounds ahead offensively,
Right.
but defensively, I see it. Like it's
Yeah.
creepy. Like
Don't they
it's
wear the
so
same number,
uncanny.
too?
Yeah,
33.
that's probably why he wears it.
Kamara
Same height,
is
same build almost.
Kamara was like a late second round pick too. Went to Dayton like Obi Toppin,
Yep.
and just hopped into that lineup because last year they had 4 good picks. They had Chris Murray, they had Scoot, and then Kamara was their last pick in the second round.
Yeah.
Right? They knocked it out with their first pick and their last pick.
Yeah.
Great job.
And
So-
look, he was a humongous like bright spot in the Suns preseason last year. He just kind of came out of nowhere and was just hitting threes. He was just clamping up everyone.
Right.
And they traded him. And I was just like, damn, like they needed that guy.
They
Definitely
needed that
did.
guy.
But to be fair, they did kind of replicate it this year. Ryan Dunn's been playing fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's no Toumani Camara.
No.
I would say right now Toumani Camara is like a top 25 player under 25.
Whoa, I wouldn't go that far yet.
I would
Under
definitely put him there.
25.
Under 25.
I would say his upside is humongous.
Upside's humongous, but right now you could
Already?
definitely put him in that category. Yeah, without
I don't
a
know.
doubt.
I don't know if I'll do that, but okay.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I'm curious to see what lineups Chauncey Billups wants to run next season. Yes, Shaq, Chauncey Billups, Portland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Say it again.
yeah, say it again, bro.
Yeah.
But I love what Portland's doing, and things looked bleak. I think we all put them in rock bottom in our predictions for the
Yeah.
West.
Yes.
They're still gonna finish in like 12th, but like a lot better than what we had hoped and what
Yeah.
we had thought.
Much better.
But he is going to be fantastic going forward. He could be a DPOY candidate in a few
He could
years.
be.
But right now, I think first team's a bit of a stretch because he's only been playing this good for a couple months. I think as far as the whole season goes, he's probably going to wind up on second team.
All right.
But because it's bold predictions, I'd like to use him
Yeah,
first.
exactly. That's what I said.
That's what we like. So let me get into my final one. Do you want me to get into my 2 extra honorable mention ones first?
Yeah, we'll go over and see
All
what
right.
they are.
So obviously, I could not say that the Nets were going to win the lottery and get Cooper Flag. So that's
Okay.
it's obviously bold because it's all up to numbers. We don't know what it's going to be. And the Nets have decent odds. We're I think 5th right now. So we have like a 9% chance of winning it, which I would love if we won the lottery. That'd be fucking fantastic. And I think I think unbiasedly the Nets. And this is me being objective. I do think Brooklyn's the perfect spot for him. Just as far as like a whole combination of fit, coach, brand, I think it's where he belongs.
NBA make it happen.
Please do, please.
I have nothing against that at all, actually.
Yeah,
I think
Adam Silver, rig it right now for the Nets.
like bro, because now that you guys have seen that Jordy Fernandez is a young Eric Spoelstra,
Yeah, he's good.
imagine him with Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Oh man, two-way dominance.
Jordy
That'll be
should
good.
actually be in Coach of the Year conversation.
Oh,
He's going
what?
to be. He's going to be.
He should
should
not
be.
be in coach of their conversations.
Right now,
should
right
be.
now the five.
He's a great coach,
Right now, the
but-
5 candidates for Coach of the Year: obviously Kenny Atkinson, Ime Udoka, JB Bickerstaff, Jordy Fernandez are right outside the top 3.
No way.
Yeah.
Look at the
How?
odds because the Nets were supposed to. The Nets were projected to win 18 games this year. We've already won way more
And
than that.
everybody in that team plays hard.
Yeah, the fact that
regardless, they're bad.
the Knicks have like an average margin of loss to the Cavs, Celtics, and Thunder, I think by like 87. The Nets took all 3 of those teams down to the wire in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I would give JJ Redick. I would put JJ above.
JJ probably
Nah,
fit in there.
Fernandez.
JJ got gifted with Luka Doncic.
Doesn't
so it's
matter.
like-
I would still, even if they didn't get Luca, I would.
I mean,
still
I would put
him above.
JJ just below Jordy in that 5th spot. But Jordy, to me, right now, he should be in that Coach of the Year combo.
No way.
Yeah.
So
I think
Alright.
so.
Yeah.
Gio's just hating.
I
he's
am.
just hating.
What's your other honorable mention?
My other honorable mention now, this obviously could be a lot more realistic if they lose in the first round, but I think Cade Cunningham will average a triple-double in the playoffs this season.
The Westbrook effect.
That is very bold.
Very bold, but like, look, if you're playing the Knicks in round 1, he'll definitely get his points. He'll definitely get his boards. The Knicks start doubling him, like he'll easily get the assists.
Okay.
It all comes down to if they start doubling him. So he
Right.
needs to be on, like he
Oh,
needs to be hitting shots,
I think he will.
and then he'll get the triple
Yeah.
doubles. So
I would love to see that. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
It's tough though in the playoffs with triple doubles. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean Jokic did it with ease, but he's obviously a
It's
much better
Jokic.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's-
exactly. Oof.
It's hard when you play the Knicks because the Knicks whistles insane in the playoffs, and we just saw Cade get tossed in the OKC game because the refs were being idiots. So
Yeah.
if the Pistons get screwed by the refs, like he might get ejected. Like we don't know.
Possible.
It's definitely possible. So you never want to like playoff series against the Knicks and Lakers are always so ass because all the calls go
I would
their way.
love to see what a finals matchup with them, how the whistle would go.
That's a good question, actually, because ESPN equally dick rides both of them. So it's not like, I don't know how that would go.
I think they would have the Stephen A. whistle for the Knicks.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, then again, Shannon Sharp with the Lakers, you know? OKC,
fun.
UFC,
Yeah.
AFC,
I don't
whatever
know
the
what
fuck.
the hell.
Lakers,
No,
bye.
look, that would be fun. New York versus LA in the finals.
I
on.
wouldn't enjoy it as much as other matchups because I find both teams boring. Because
I understand
I
where
don't
you're
like.
coming from,
I just
Tyler.
don't like big market teams. I understand. I'm a fan of one, but like, you know, I'm not as big on, outside of my team. I don't like big market teams.
Yeah, but we've never seen this before. A New York LA finals matchup.
We just
That
saw it in the
would
World
be-
Series.
All right, but for the
Yeah.
NBA,
Yeah.
we haven't seen it. So that would be. I mean, that
That'd
would
be
be
cool,
pretty cool.
but I'd rather see Boston
versus
or Cleveland than New York. I'd rather see Denver and OKC than LA.
Okay.
I'm a small market sympathizer. That's just kind of who I am.
Okay.
And speaking of small market sympathizer, let me get into my final
Please do.
bold prediction, my boldest prediction of the bunch. I thought, why not go completely balls to the wall here and just go with something so outright ridiculous that, you know what, if it happens, I'd laugh my ass off for the rest of my life. I think the Indiana Pacers will win the 2025 NBA Finals.
Nope. Cut the show. Cut
I'm
the
not even
show.
responding to that,
Nope.
bro.
Nope.
Insane.
Yeah.
Look,
Conclude the show. That's it.
with Tyrese Halliburton
It's over.
playing the way he is this season, it's not happening.
Have you seen the way he's been playing since All-Star break?
What, he hit one lucky shot
No.
for the game winner?
No, he's been averaging like 25 and 12 assists.
Has he actually?
Yeah.
No.
The Pacers have been cooking.
All right, I'm just a casual, okay? Don't get mad at me.
No.
His assist to turnover ratio since All-Star break is at 12. He went on a stretch of having like 100 assists and like 7 turnovers or something close to those numbers. He's playing great. Andrew Nemhard's finally starting to come into his own now that he's healthy. We see Obi Toppin's getting game-winning shots now.
Oh,
He says Obi Toppin's the third option on this team. Like, what are we talking
These
about?
moments are just once. They're not going to happen for them ever again.
Just like the Mikal Bridges game winner.
Beautiful.
So-
I'm perfectly fine with it because I want him gone.
But
Wow.
But like the way
Stop being a negative Nancy, okay?
I don't want him on my team.
But like the way Halliburton's been playing, obviously Siakam's been their best player consistently all season.
Yeah.
So we know he's going to continue to play like this. The way Halliburton's playing, the Pacers look borderline unstoppable. And they actually, unlike the Knicks, they have beaten the Cavs and the Celtics multiple times this season. And if you somehow get past them, I tweeted out a few weeks ago, I think whoever wins the Cavs-Pacers second round series, if the Pacers obviously get there, they're the team that's going to win it all. Whoever wins that series.
This is,
Listen,
you know what, Tyler? I'm not mad at it.
Beating them in the regular season is cute. It matters most in the playoffs. And the Knicks will beat them.
The Pacers?
Sure.
You don't want to see the Pacers in the playoffs, bro.
He does not.
He said no.
I don't want PTSD.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a Knicks fan, I want to see the Pacers and I want to beat them.
Yeah, I want Hallie to cry.
That's crazy. That's absolutely diabolical.
I want them all to cry and go bye-bye.
It could genuinely be a generational run if they do it.
No, it would be.
Because like if you take down Giannis and Dame in the first round, and you take out the 70 win Cavs in the second round, you take down the 60 something win Boston in the third round,
And OKC.
and then whoever in the West, like we don't know if OKC gets there. Great. If not, like if it's like an Indiana Memphis finals, I would give the edge to Indiana easily.
Oh, for sure.
So I
Probably.
think it's doable. I do think it's doable.
All right, man.
Like I said last year, if they just lock
Tyler.
in the last 2 minutes of every game in the conference finals, they would have made the NBA finals. And they were way more rested than Dallas was.
So Tyler's an undercover Pacers fan, if you guys didn't
I am
know.
a Pacers believer.
Yeah.
Can you just do the outro?
I mean, Pascal Siakam's one of my favorite players, so I kind of have to back him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Pascal Siakam. He's great. But I wish he went to any other team but the Pacers. But never mind.
Because like, I'll ask you this: outside of OKC, Boston, Cleveland, who do you genuinely think has the best chance to win the finals?
Any of those West teams that are below them.
Yeah.
That's literally the only option, I feel like.
I would
That's
say
fair.
even like Denver, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think both of them would probably have the edge over Indiana, but there's a very low chance that Denver or Minnesota even gets to the finals. So
Yeah, exactly.
possible. But I do see a world where Indiana makes the finals. Definitely harder to see them winning it, especially if OKC is standing on the other side. But I think as far as bold predictions goes, I think this is pretty bold.
That-
And it's funny how quick they've turned things around, because there was an article I read a couple weeks ago that's saying like bold predictions before the trade deadline. It was like Indiana misses the playoffs completely because they were in the play-in
Yeah.
like a long time and they've clawed themselves out of it,
Yeah.
and they're only a game out of the 4 seed now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So very
All right.
interesting developments regarding the Indiana Pacers.
I could care less.
That's
Just
crazy
outro.
work.
Let's finish Pacers talk. I'm done with Pacers.
So yeah, do we have any other final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns regarding our bold predictions?
No, they were good. They were bold. Geo's, I don't know what the hell he was doing when he wrote these down, but
Yeah, bro went right to Bronny James
Yeah.
in 2025. That's crazy.
all right.
But yeah, that concludes our bold predictions. Let us know down in the comments below if you have any sort of bold predictions that you think will happen throughout this NBA season, the playoffs, and the offseason. And with that, that brings us to the end of episode number 49 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Gio, you know what time it is. It's that point in the video. What are the people still with the flow? Comment at home.
Comment down bold.
Bold. You know what? Very italicized from you. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Very bold. So comment down bold. If you don't know how to spell it, I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, guys, you know what this means. Next week is our 50th episode. So we have a special episode coming at you. We're not going to tell you what it is because obviously we want it to be a surprise. So, you'll see that when the time comes. We'll obviously have our normal stuff, news for like the first hour of the show. And then we'll get into the main sort of portion of it. And then, yeah, it's just basically just gearing up until the playoffs. And in just a few weeks,
Exactly.
we have our 1-year pod anniversary of episodes, which will be our playoff predictions for the 2025 NBA playoffs. So If you did enjoy today's video, I'm sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get us to 5K. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls, follow our socials at FloorSpacerPod on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Big shout out to y'all on TikTok. Y'all ran up our Jokic shorts. Had like 102,000 views. So we love y'all for that. Follow our personal ones down below. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And guys, do we have any final things to say for the viewers before we head on out of here for the week?
No, we got to do shorts.
Yes, we do have to do shorts. So we're going to go get to that. Also, big thank you for the support on last episode. I think our third most successful pod episode yet.
Very good.
So
very good episode.
Pretty good. So we hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. Fuck Nico Harrison. And we'll see you all next week in episode 50. Peace out.